I got options. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh yeah, oh yeah. I got options. Yeah. Oh yeah. I got options. So many of them, don't know how to pick from them options. I never had nothing, but now I got so many options. Might catch me a flight out the day, I got so many options. The Maybach, the Audi, the Wraith, I got so many options. Don't know what to do anymore, I got so many options. Can't pick just one woman when they all bad and you got options. Don't know what to wear anymore, I got so many options. Thank the man up above for blessing me with so many options.
I got so many options when I'm looking through my closet, I don't know what I'm wearing. I got so many blessings, got a garage full of foreigns, I don't know what I'm driving. Thumbing through a bankroll full of hundreds, now I'm counting every blessing. Reminiscing with my moms on the times when we ain't had nothing. Told mama she ain't gotta worry about a thing no more, I got it. Took her to the store, told her anything she want, go get it, I buy it. It feels so good to say that, man, it feel good to say that. Yeah, yeah, man, I would never go back, swear I would never go back. Yeah, yeah, I made a promise, be rich for my kids, go to college, and I went and did that. Yeah, I made a promise that I wouldn't switch up no matter what, I never did that. Yeah, I got so many options, Louis Prada, Gucci, Fendi, talking about everything. I got so many frequent flight miles now, I can go get on anything.
I got options. So many of them, don't know how to pick from them options. I never had nothing, but now I got so many options. Might catch me a flight out the day, I got so many options. The Maybach, the Audi, the Wraith, I got so many options. Don't know what to do anymore, I got so many options. Can't pick just one woman when they all bad and you got options. Don't know what to wear anymore, I got so many options. Thank the man up above for blessing me with so many options. I got so many options, yeah. 30 the trending topic, yeah. I got so many commas, so you know it's some money in every pocket. I see it, I want it, I get it in. Look at these diamonds, they glistening. Tune in to mama, now listening. So many whips like I'm in a pen. Started with nothing, I came from the bottom. I'm cut from a different cloth, you niggas frost. I cannot trust them as far I can throw them, cause most of these niggas be acting like bras. So many that I'm playing with. A lot of jewelry I'm finna get. So many outfits with so many options. Sometimes I don't know which one I'ma pick. Going back broke, not an option. No. So if you're not talking about money, you're trying to get it, why the f is you talking? Look at them mad cause I'm saucing. I told my mama, Hakuna Matata, I'm gon' get her out of the hood. I got her out of the hood. Now she good and we got so many options. So many of them, don't know how to pick from them options. I never had nothing, but now I got so many options. Might catch me a flight out the day, I got so many options. The Maybach, the Audi, the Wraith, I got so many options. Don't know what to do anymore, I got so many options. Can't pick just one woman when they all bad and you got options. Don't know what to wear anymore, I got so many options. Thank the man up above for blessing me with so many options.
Say I can't win, I can't win, hey, hey. Say I can't win, say I can't win, I can't win, I came to win, yeah. Only do it for the wins. I hope the Lord forgive me for my sins. I wanna kick this knowledge to my friends. I tell her come and then she ask me when. I start, I finish it until the end. I hold my bankroll, never bend. I follow legends, you just follow trends. Bitch, I'm only in this game for the wins, yeah. Wins, wins. I'm only in this game for the wins. I hope the Lord forgive me for my sins. I wanna kick this knowledge to my friends. I tell her come and then she ask me when. I thought I finished it until the end. I follow legends, you just follow trends. Bitch, I'm only in this game for the wins. We don't take L's, bitch, we taking lessons. I done turn hard work into blessings. I done turn blood money to investments. I done smoke an ounce of rust to keep them stressing. I been getting money since my adolescence. I love that black nap, but the judge me my weapon. Come from a city where niggas be stepping. Lace up my Nikes, you know that I'm stepping. I ain't just rapping. Take off my hat because I am not captain. She drive the boat and bitch, I am the captain. Go to the boat up and stack off the craps. And the roulette, there's one in the chamber, play Russian roulette. I'm here for the win, double down on my bet. Importer from Cali, I smoke on the best. I'm finding no stylist, I dress to impress. Notorious flowing too popular.
How you want now? Right. We're on.
Where you at?
Hey,
Hey, what's up? What's up?
what's going on? Hey, everyone. Welcome to Live with Eric and SoSo. I thought I had time to run and the kitchen and come back. I didn't
What you was trying
realize
to
how short the intro is.
you was trying to get something to eat.
Yeah. Hey, Wiz. Who
Man,
else
I
said
was
hi to me?
I was trying to get some things straight on my end. But I guess it's time to rock and roll. I guess
It
I,
is.
I
How
guess
you been?
that was a short 10 minutes. Uh
No, it
man, I
was the full 10 minutes. It wasn't because I saw you on, so I thought you were
ah
ready. And so
okay.
I just went into the intro.
I got you,
That's
got you,
why
got
I
you. Man, that you called it audible. Okay. I love it. I love it. I love it. Now I'm doing great. Been a long day.
like I am close.
But hey, this is I've been waiting for tonight. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I don't care how bad it was during the day. This right here is making it all right. And man, I get to sit next to virtually, the most beautiful co-host a man could have. Yeah, and
I appreciate that.
I am officially live with SoSo. Man. Hey, that's when
Appreciate
we
that
need our
highly.
applause right there.
Trying
Man, so how
to
you
get my
been?
light right.
Yeah, you
I've been cool. I've been cool and just just trying to get some stuff, going for the week. I do my Monday night, my it's a vibe Monday, so I've been doing some remarketing with that, and I actually grabbed some sponsors. So
okay.
trying to just keep it flowing, and still working on the movie, and trying to just promote both simultaneously, and just in some meetings and all that good stuff. I actually did was that last week? That was last Saturday. That was past Saturday. I did Vegan Deal.
Okay.
Um, I had did Vegan Deal, and so oh Wiz, I gotta put this because Wiz has said I look beautiful. Well, thank you,
Oh
Wiz.
goodness. Oh Lord.
Oh,
She
handsome. You my
she messed up for the
handsome.
rest of the night. Where's you
Wiz
messed
is
up,
the
man?
bomb diggity. He is. I love him. I just love his spirit. Like he is just everything.
That's
Um,
good.
Yeah, so my friend Versatile Andre, he's usually on the live. I'm actually going to make sure he comes on so he can tune in.
Okay.
Um he invited me to be his guest co-host for the interviews at the Vegan Dale Fest and also do the media.
Right.
So it was a big fest in Grant Park. It was huge. A lot of people was there. Rick Ross had performed. And so
Wow.
so we was doing like some footage of him. We got footage of the crowd. Actually got to see him all that footage because he kicked my butt. Um, I was putting some stuff together today, but I just had so much going on. So so my weekend it was cool. Um, my daughter turned her sweet 16 was Sunday,
What's up?
and
Sweet
yeah,
16.
getting
That's what I'm
big.
talking
Gonna
about.
be a junior this year. So I was with
Wow.
her and until she kicked me out, so she can be with her friends. And so
Yeah, hey, she's only gonna tolerate you so long, See,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Get used to it. Well, shoot,
um,
you already know.
I
That ain't.
know, but my oldest two don't kick me out as much as my youngest.
Yeah, but when they were 16, she did. They all
Yeah,
did.
well, I 16, I was ready to kick them all of them out. I'm ready to kick her out too. No, I was
Right,
kidding, but
right.
but yeah, so that
Well,
was my weekend and my week so far. Yeah, so
well,
it was,
that
so I appreciate. I had a good week.
well, that's good.
Somewhat, the devil tried me for a little bit. He tried to get in my space and create a negative space for me, but
what?
yes, yeah,
So,
I'll tell you about it off camera. But God. twins.
Girl,
No,
go on and put that tea out. Go on and put it out, man. This our
nah.
folks. We
You
all
know,
family.
this is a relationship podcast. It's not a so personal podcast. Only a
Okay.
personal with past relationships.
All right, so it's not
So
made
yeah,
for TV, huh? I
it's
got you.
not
I
made
got you.
for everybody is.
I got you. Okay, guys. When she tell me I can't hold water. So when she
That's
tell
why you
me,
won't even know then.
I got y'all. I got y'all. Don't even worry about it. I got y'all.
anyway, back to today
Yes.
and our subject for today.
Oh
What is
man. Yeah. Yeah. You
what's
being
our
messy.
subject
First of
for
all.
today?
Yeah.
How was
I
I being
noticed.
messy?
I noticed lately you just had the spirit of messiness going on. You
First of
just
all,
want to
you
be
picked
messy.
the last two subjects.
Yeah, but you let me. Cause yeah. This one right here, man, come on,
What?
there's nothing. Good can come out of
We
this one right
are
here?
talking about would you date your ex? If so, what would it take? Would it take for
What would it
you
take?
to date your ex?
So
Uh,
just to
thank you, Wiz.
understand, we're talking
Wiz said,
about
we don't need to know the nasty devil. That's right, Wiz.
ah right. You
So,
about
would
right
you
too,
date
Wiz.
your ex? And what would it take for you to date your ex? And I'm going to start with you.
You're gonna start with me. I need time to process that thing moving too fast. What would it take? Oh man. Can I would I
What?
date my ex? You know what?
Would you date your any ex? Any
Any
ex? It ain't got
ex.
to be your recent ex. It can be any ex. If one of your exes came up to you
Mm-hmm.
and be like, and was like, you know what? I want to give it another try. I know, like we had some issues. We broke up for a reason, but time has passed. I believe I changed. I'm in a different space.
Right.
Would you believe them, and would you give them another try?
So here's the problem. I have to go all the way back to high school
Then you
to
ain't had
get.
an ex since high school.
I haven't had an ex since high school.
You
So
that was who you married 32. You was married for 32 years.
right. I
Jeez.
gotta go.
So
I
would you
gotta
get back
go
with your
back there.
ex-wife?
See, and that's why. So I'm just gonna say no. I'm just
No,
gonna
be
say no.
transparent. If your ex-wife came to you right now and
You-
said, "Ex-honey, all right, I miss you. I know things wasn't working with us, but I just want to see where it goes. I haven't met anybody, what I'm saying, that I felt like was worth me actually getting serious with.
right,
And I know how our relationship went. I know what type of man you are. And I just want to give it another try."
right. So the answer would be no. And
What would it take for you to have to date her? What would she have to do for you to date her again?
she I don't that's really hard because I don't really
Was it
think
that
she
bad?
can do any. It wasn't bad, but it's something where I'm when you move on, I mean, just even the thought of saying, okay, I'll go back now. So let's just go ahead and I'll get into it because you want me to. I'll get into that.
I do. I mean, I need the juice. Okay, this is what this is for.
So hopefully we can help somebody, okay? Because this is a
Right.
relationship show, so we got to be
We need the
open. We
transparency.
got to be a little
I
transparent.
can't be
Okay,
the
I
only
get it.
one transparent here.
You do such a good job at it.
That's why I'm
It
leaving it to you today.
buffers. It doesn't give me room to have to be transparent because you do such a good job at it.
But
But
today is your day. I'm making room. Okay,
I am
you got
officially
the
on the
whole
hot
house.
seat. Yeah, I got you. I got you. Um, so when I look at the whole time before she became my ex, then I at
hmm
any time before then, I was all gun ho, all in it. Hey, let's fight. That's why my YouTube is Fight for the Family. I'm pro marriage, pro family. All of that. And um but there is a point where when you really get to a point where you have detached and moved on, the thought of it, now have I ever had a thought? Of course, yeah, I have had a thought. um but I'm gonna tell you, those thoughts go like, man, what if, and then it'd be like, ah, no, no, and if you really want to be honest, then from what I hear, she's living the best life she ever had. so,
Oh,
so
she probably
why
wouldn't date you either.
right, so why mess that piece up, now I find it very hard to believe, but according to her Facebook page, she's living the best life she ever had. So me being
Oh,
the
she's going off her
gentleman that I
social. Oh, so
am,
you're still social media friends.
yeah, we didn't have that type of well, I guess at one point, but well, I mean,
Okay, so what caused the breakup?
uh man,
You made her plan that date.
she, yeah, she had to plan a date and she just didn't want it, um I'm gonna tell you, and I kind of, I talk about it a bit in my book, but what really happened, this is over the years of doing personal development, the years of healing, years of asking why. Now I would,
Mhm,
and what I realize is that you're gonna have a surface reason, but I
mhm,
tell you that you really have to learn how to pull back the layers. And one of the things that I'll just say this to when you know that you're healing is when you can stop pointing the finger. As long as you point the
exactly.
finger at, as long as you're saying he's the one reason why, or she's the reason why, then I'm gonna tell you that you haven't healed. Okay, so I did the work, and I'm at a point where I can look at myself. Now one of the
Mhm,
things that I can say, is that I realized, because we were together, we went through our teenage years, then our 20s, our 30s, our 40s, then
mm,
divorced in our 50s. We
mm,
went through a lot of stages in life, and I believe that we got into this 50 range, and it was so different. And it was, we the kids was out of the house. Everybody had a life, that you
mhm,
really was separate from each other, but then when all those common grounds was gone, and now you kind of like, okay, this is where you at, and it's just you and her, and you start realizing
mhm.
that you didn't do the work. Okay, and that's why I can
Or you
talk.
start realizing, like, I really don't like this person. Now that we are alone, we got all this time together. We really get to see who each other is. I don't even like this
Those are
person.
your
Like, I was so we
those
were
are
so
your
busy raising
words.
these kids. We were so busy raising these kids. We really not really didn't get the chance to really know each other as adults.
And I'll
And you
and I'll
like
go a
that.
little further. I wrap myself around work, and
Mm-hmm.
she wrapped herself around the kids. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and we did life like that. And that's why, once again, I'm not really plugging my book, but I'm plugging it. That's why,
Mm-hmm.
I talk about the power too, because what I realize is that every aspect of your life, if you want to really do the long term, if you really believe that marriage is death do you part, and you're saying, okay, this is a one and done type situation. I mean, I'm talking about, that's how you go into it. Then you're
That's
gonna have to pick
me.
up some
Never
tools.
been married.
You're gonna have to do some things, because if what we were doing was just going through the motion,
Mm-hmm.
year after year, nobody was really just happy, but nobody was really just sad, because we had things to occupy ourselves. And then
Right.
you realize that, man, I really don't know. So so what I focus on is, like, now moving forward, that in order for you to to avoid getting to a point where you really find yourself living with somebody that you really don't know, is that you're
Mm-hmm.
gonna have to do life together. And I know people say, well, Eric, how is it that you can be together that long and don't do life together? I just explained it to you. You're not focusing on each other.
Right.
You're not doing the work that it really takes to get to. See, I knew her in her 20s. I knew her, 30s,
Mm-hmm.
but something happened to where I stopped learning her, and some things was happening to her, and things was happening to me, and I we didn't recognize the change. One of the things that that I kind of reference it to. You ever do you ride motorcycles? Have you ever ridden on the back of a motorcycle?
I did. I
Yeah.
did. Very
Okay.
slowly.
Very slow. Okay. So like
Mm-hmm.
when a person, like you say, you in the back, and you hold it on. One
Mm-hmm.
of the things your job is, when the rider leans to the left, you need to lean with it in the curve, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because if you go opposite, then you can cause a derailment.
Right.
Okay. Well, what happened to us is that, yeah, and I call these are the curves of life. Okay. See, we got into a curve in life to where it was all these changes, and when we got into that curve, I was leaning one way and she leaned the other way, and we derailed because we wasn't on
Oh,
the same
great
page.
metaphor.
You like
But
that?
so what if today, I do, I like that metaphor.
Cool. So
What if
and so
today, since you didn't know her in her 50s,
mhm,
you knew her in her 20s, you liked her, she was sexy, she was cute, she was bubbly, she was vibrant, she was
mm.
all that in a bag of ruffled potato chips. All right. So then kids
Sour
came
cream and
along,
onion,
work,
okay.
so yeah, well, cheddar sour cream and onion.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
so
yeah, that's what I meant. That's what I meant. Yeah, that's my favorite. Yeah.
that's mine too. But now they got some jalapeno cheddar sour cream and
I
onion.
hadn't tried that one.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, my friend had them, and I couldn't stop eating them. I almost ate his whole bag up.
Wow.
So good. Oh my gosh, they are so good. I gotta find. I don't know if they just in the city or they in the suburbs, but I'm gonna have to find it because they are so good. They
Wow. I got to check
jalapeno
them out.
cheddar sour cream.
Oh
Yes,
man,
look
I
for
like
them
that.
because they so
Yeah,
good. So
that $5 bag. Yeah.
yeah, no, right? But it's worth it because it's so good.
Yeah.
But all right, that was my sponsor for today. Hey, Ruffles, I need a check.
I come
So
on, bring
anyway,
me my coins.
who said they are good? Somebody just said they are good.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's right, right now. So you had all they got them out in Florida? Yeah, they are good. They good.
Wow.
I gotta find. I was
Listen,
looking in
I'm
the
looking
gas station.
for
I
them
didn't see
tomorrow.
them.
And I really never seen them. Maybe I'm old. I mean, they so expensive right now. I really, don't take the
Yeah, it's
check
like
back, Ruffles.
almost
Y'all are
$5
good.
for
Okay. But
it.
I get to the point where I don't even look over them no more. I'm not. Don't even tempt me. I'm looking for a
It's
two
worth
for
it, and
something.
I'm not even supposed to have chips, but it's worth it. They right now say yes, they do got them in Florida. Yeah. So
Oh, cool,
anyway,
cool.
so say if the 50-year-old, I don't know how 50 whatever year old ex come and
Mm-hmm.
say, "Hey, Eric, we have not been able. I know, like as time flew on for us, we drifted apart.
Mm-hmm.
We went around that curve, and I went one way, you went the other, and we
Right.
derailed.
Right.
I want to get to know you in your present time, and I want you to get to know me in my present time. Not what you see me living my best life on social media. That's just for my friends. That's not really my life. And I want to really let you into my life, my current life.
Right.
And I want to go into yours. Can we date so we can get to know each other?
Man, great question. And
If
no
you
matter
single,
how you listen, no matter how you flip it, and the answer is going to be no, simply because um
because you're dating
I I
somebody.
I know what I did. I know what I did prior to it. Okay. And I made a point to where I was going to fight with everything I had to keep our marriage together.
Hmm.
And but when it was over, I had to let it go. I had to bury it, and I'm okay with that. Okay, because What I'm gonna tell you this, and this, I don't know if this is gonna help somebody, but it helped me. I wasn't going to. I was going to keep my covenant that I made.
Mhm.
I was gonna keep my vows. I was not going to divorce my wife. Um, and I honored that, and I fought for that. But now that it was over, then now it's time for the new chapter in my life. So I don't it now if you ask me, do I have a problem, do I agree with, revisiting and redating the ex? No, I don't have a problem with that. It's just me personally. It just means something a little different,
Mhm.
because of what was taken away, um I mean, and the 30 plus years that was invested, I'm like, no, I'm good. But
Mm.
people can change. People can
Mhm.
change, and if especially, and I think I like the way you said it, because you know if you dealt with an ex and that ex was last year, then that's a different thing, because now you're just, you don't know how to let go. Okay, and it's some type of
Mhm.
soul tie, where y'all dated, so basically y'all
Man,
on.
that's so tight. Let me tell
Yeah.
you.
Oh yeah, come on,
Let
come
me
on
not
with it.
tell you.
Okay,
Mhm.
you just gonna sip some tea. But yeah, but that's a little different, because there's a connection that you don't want to let go. Okay, and but if it was a long period of time, you know what I'm saying, and I'm gonna say, 5 years, 10 years, 20, when that disconnect was that long, now, I mean, now that person is in a different phase of their life. You can't judge nobody, okay, when they were 19 and now they 30. You can't judge him on what he
Unless they still
did.
act 19 at 30. It
Well,
happens.
it happens. Yeah, it happens.
They act 19
It,
at
it happens.
50.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's some, and I made a post about this, a couple of weeks ago, that I don't ever want to grow up that much, something like that.
Mm.
And I know it's not popular, especially women, you should grow up, but I think men, and really women too, but I don't want to get that old to where I don't
Right.
remember,
You
I
don't
don't
have to
enjoy the
you
stuff
don't
that I did when
you
I
don't
was a
you
kid.
don't have to get old. You just need to mature.
Okay, yeah. Can I
So
just
it's a
do some
different
silly stuff every once in a while?
you need to mentally mature so
I
that
get it.
yeah, so you can still be a vibrant, fun, how go jump in the bounce house 50-year-old man, but god dang it, mentally you cannot be thinking like a 10-year-old or a 19-year-old or a 20-year-old.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
But then, I
yeah.
mean, but now let me ask you this: what if you only had one option?
What
And
you mean?
what no, no, what if you had, what was your only option, was for them to be immature, silly, and then, or to be rigid and mature?
I would be single.
you see them you see what I'm saying? I mean,
I would
I
be
mean,
I would be
think about it.
single because you got to be mature with a sense of humor. So
Okay, but I really need an answer from you. I really, you
there's
put
no
me on the
answer.
hot
That's
seat.
my answer. My
No, I
answer will
mean,
be
but
I will
your
be
only
single.
choice is
Single.
it- mature,
It's a
immature. I mean, silly. Just, I mean, he's just immature,
wait. Is he
or he's gonna
silly? Is
be.
he working?
You,
Do he have a career?
yeah, he's got everything that you want in a man, but he's silly. You know what I'm saying? He's
Oh well,
immature.
I can do silly. I can do silly because I know how to turn it off. Like I know how to like I have selective hearing really good from according to my children.
Right,
So
right. But see,
apparently
that's
I
my
know how to use
point.
my selective hearing with the silliness. But when it
that's
comes
my
to
point.
having meaningful conversations and you don't know how to hold an effective conversation, then that's the problem.
Right, right.
Because
Or
now that immaturity has to stop and you have to be an adult.
right, but if that guy that was so he was so mature, he can have a great conversation, you know what I'm saying? But he's so hard and rigid and cold. You know what I'm saying?
I
I mean,
I
but he got
dated
a
I
good
dated a
conversation
guy
though.
with I dated a guy. Well, no, see, I dated a guy with not so good conversation. So what? But
Uh-huh.
not as good sense of humor. It was almost like he was scared to laugh in front of me.
Yeah,
But he would
yeah,
laugh like in front of like his family and stuff. But when it came to me, it was almost like he had this like he didn't want to show like happiness or something. It was weird, and I'm like, it's funny. We watching a
yeah,
comedy show. Like I couldn't even watch, and even like with sports, like I would be loud, like yeah. And he loves sports. Like he watched sports all day, and he would just be like quiet watching sports. And I'm like, how are you quiet watching sports?
yeah.
Like why are you not laughing? Like I would see him laugh so hard with his family. When it came to me, we would watch TV, we would watch comedies, and it was a or like me being sarcastically silly, I would say
Right,
something and he's like, "Oh, you laughing?" I'm like, "Yeah, because it was funny."
right,
Like that's hard trying to pull a sense of humor out of somebody. Like
right.
it's really, but
Yeah.
then it's hard trying to bring back the silliness too. So like
Like
either I mean,
calm
either way,
down. You're
I'm gonna
being
be
too
crazy.
silly.
It's gonna drive me crazy, and I'm gonna die
Right.
because of they're gonna kill me early.
And see that really well. I mean, if you had to choose, if I'm understanding you, you choose the silly. Now,
I would choose
realistically,
a
so
silly
so
because I can ignore him.
because you can ignore it, and but nobody really wants to have that type of choice. Okay, and the reason why
Of
I
course.
asked you like that because this is what I teach men. Okay. And I believe, and first of all, let me just say this. I hate the whole real man conversation. Okay. You want a quick way to piss me off, start talking about real men. A real man would
Let
do
me
this.
tell you
Okay.
about what a real man would do. Okay. Let
Hey,
me tell you what a real man is.
see that
Okay.
there you go.
A
You just
real
trying to
man
you poking the bell. You poking the bell.
take care of his kids, take care of his woman, isn't selfish,
Okay. Keep going.
loving, understands, and allow his woman to have a voice. A real man gonna make sure the household is good, his family is good. He ain't gonna let nobody disrespect his woman. He gonna shine his woman with pride. Okay,
Man,
a
that's all
real
great. But
man.
this is what I say. There is no such thing as a real man. They're
So
just
all men are
men.
fake.
No,
Y'all
all
fake.
men are just men. They're just
No, it's
men.
some fake men.
No, if there's some immature men and there's some
Now,
men.
when I say that, I talk about like personality or persona. Not like So you
What
got the
see
when we say real men and we say fake men, we talk about men who like lie and what I'm saying. You have a representative and don't do can't. Their money isn't where their mouth
every
is. That's a fake
anybody
man.
that you
So
can
to me,
classify and just say, hey, that's a real man. I guarantee you, they lied. And see, and one of the things that you got
but
to
I
think
mean, I'm
about.
just saying it's different. Like their money, you put your money where your mouth is. Like
All I
what I'm saying.
this is what I know. I know that I hear stuff like my dad was a real man. Okay, my granddad was a real man. I hear stuff like that all the time. That be their reference point. But what I be trying to get people to see, if you go talk to the women in your dad life or in your granddad's life, they're gonna say that he did not hit the bar. You see what I'm saying? So what you really are telling me that he was a good dad, okay?
Right. I mean,
And
I
but
wouldn't reference my daddy as a, what I'm saying, because I never dated my daddy. So for
well,
them and for them
you
to
wouldn't
like
say your dad
say
was a
like
real man.
as far as a daddy, but not as my man, like it's
Well, I
weird.
mean,
I
would
can't
you
label my daddy as a real man as somebody looking at how he dated my mama because
but
I've never dated my daddy.
would you say he's a standard because that real man is just a standard? Would you say
As
he's the
far as a
standard
stand-up
of what a
guy,
man should
he's
be?
a he has stature. A man of stature. Is
He's a
that what
man,
we're talking about?
right? I mean, I mean, and then maybe it doesn't hit everybody because some people don't see their father in the same way. But what I'm saying,
Exactly.
I'm talking about the ones who use their father as the gold standard of what a man should be. And all I'm saying is when you look at that that standard, that's only because the perspective that you're looking at, the perspective of his baby girl that he like would die for, he would kill for. You see what I'm saying?
Unless
So
they see how he treat their mom. And so they're
right, but
looking
see,
like, I want a man that treat my mom to treat me the way my daddy treated my mom, because my daddy was a real man. My daddy never let my mom drive anywhere. My daddy, help with the household. My daddy always took care of this. So unless they're looking at how he treated, but they don't know what it took for him to
to get to
treat
that
their
point.
mom like that. Get to that point, or
Exactly.
the other how he treated the other women, and their mama just might have been the woman that
Thank
he
you.
needed to
That's
change
all I'm
for.
saying.
So
And
yeah,
that
so I wouldn't reference because you never dated your daddy. You only, like you said, see a perception of your daddy as daddy, and he's
now
doing this for my mom.
you doing it real. You doing it the right way. But what I'm saying is there are people that do it that way. Now, but like I said, the way you broke that down is the way every woman should break it down. But they don't
Hmm.
because and some women don't even want to admit that their father, was less than. But and
Hey,
then
my
it's
daddy was a Rolling Stone. Wherever he laid his hat was his home. No, I was kidding. No, he wasn't. My daddy only got 3 kids by the same woman. So
well, I mean,
four, four kids.
I mean, we can take away dad and we can use son. There's a lot of there's women that
Fine.
just bear with me. There's a lot of women that like I heard somebody say, all men are dogs. So my question would be, does that include your father? Does that include your son? You see what I'm saying? See, it's different and all I'm saying is, when you say things like that, just see how it just don't make sense. The
That's just like when you have these black men that say they don't want to date black women. But
not
your
the
mama
same.
black, your daughter black, your auntie black, your grandmama black, but you saying that you don't like black women and you don't, and it's men, women like that too, who say, I have a friend who says that she don't want to date black men, that she don't like black men are not attractive. And I'm like, but your father is black, your
Right. I
sons are
got you.
black,
I got you. Yeah.
like, it's weird.
It is weird. It is weird. But every this is here's the key. In every man, there's a king and a boy.
What
Every
happened to the
man.
prince?
Forget about the prince. In
Oh,
every
you just go for
man.
boy the king?
No, because we're speaking to who he will be, not who he is now. Okay, and right now he could be the dog the court jester. You know what I'm saying? But but every man there's a king inside of him. The problem that women are having is because you got him before he was done. You know what I'm saying? You got the
Damn, how old
timing
he
was
gotta be
off.
before he done? He be like 65 and he still ain't done.
Well, I mean,
Like,
everybody's different, but
right.
that does not mean that every man, in every man there's a king, but there's in every man there's also a boy. See what men have to do is, I can't let the boy in me destroy the king in me. That's my biggest challenge. See,
I'm sorry.
I have to do something. I have to recognize and say, hey, that is boyish. Go ahead. I see.
No, because the Lion King song came in my head when you say that song. Just can't wait to be king. You know,
Oh Lord. Play the soundtrack.
that like when you said I can't let the boy in me destroy the king in me.
Is that,
Like that's
did it come from that? I don't know.
Simba came to my head. It's like I did. and
Lord,
wait till we can.
maybe Lord knows that's probably where I got it from. I don't know. I heard it from somewhere. But that's our challenge, man. And that's why I push back on the whole real man thing. We just we haven't taken that throne yet, but we're gonna get there.
I love how you shifted this conversation away from your
I
ex-wife,
had to,
but it's
man.
cool. You know what I'm saying? We gonna shift right back over there. Now.
Can we shift? Can we ask you
It's
that question? Can we?
huh?
You ready? You got your answer?
Ready for what? It's time to go
The an-
already.
Yeah,
Is
no,
it
I'm
time
talking
for
about.
keeping the bag with
No,
Eric?
it's time for you to answer your question.
My
Would
beauty
you date your ex, and what would it take?
Ooh, a lot of prayer, a lot of sage,
Wait,
a
man, this
lot of
dude. Come on, man. No, I mean, come on.
no, okay, so to be fully transparent,
Thank you.
here it goes. All right, so one of my exes, like I dated him back in like 2012,
Okay.
2011, something like that. All
Hmm.
right, so we always stayed like social media friends until he decided he wanted to block me and whatever. So
Okay.
and then he'll unblock me. Well, he'll block me on one social media and then not the other. It's weird. So anyway, but we used to always say we was only together for like a year, but I felt like I was in a whole marriage.
Wow.
He ended up moving in with me, and it was just like a whole marriage or whatever. But we was
Hmm.
so like not compatible, but for some reason it was like a lot of good times and but a lot of bad times. So anyway, we ended up breaking up on like Valentine's Day. Yeah, right. So anyway, but we used to always say like, we just separated and because I'll be like, what if I would like hit him up like, what's up, ex-husband? And he'd be like, you're not my ex, we just separated or whatever. So we tried to like a few years later, we had tried to date again and it didn't really work. I don't it's like it's hard when you're dealing with people who can admit who's finger pointers and can't point the finger back at themselves. And that's what I deal with a lot of my exes. Like my exes are finger pointers. They'll point to you but they can't point to themselves.
Remember
And
what I
so
said
it's
about
just
that earlier?
right. And then it's
Yeah.
like they can never remember a conversation, like
Hmm.
because they don't listen, so they don't
Right.
hear what I'm saying, but they swear like we had a conversation. They create conversations. It's weird.
Right.
So that's basically what happened. That's basically kind of what happened with another ex, and all my exes be trying to get back with me. I ain't even gonna lie, it ain't happening though. Because
Well,
I remember why we broke up, and then just having conversations with them I know they didn't change. So I don't care how much you age
right.
or whatever. And with me being in the process, of the process that I was going through to become a better woman for, whoever,
Right.
for the guy, I'm with, like I'm changing. I'm like, trying to be a better me, trying to, not, I'm not in that jealous stage anymore. I'm not in um that it can't take accountability or or not being able to hear what's how I'm doing or what I'm doing wrong. Like I've really been working on me. So knowing that I've been working on me and still working on me because I still got some work to do.
Right.
um I can't be with somebody who because you aged and or whatever, you don't feel like you need work, and for you to say like I'm ready to be in a relationship and da da da, and it's like I think a few years back before I was with the ex that I'm with now, one of my exes, um, it's gonna be, and I was like, you know what? How about, and I said this, I said, how about we date, get to know each other,
Okay.
and what I'm saying, see, what I'm saying, where it goes.
Right.
If what I'm saying, we even still like each other. He's like, no, we already know each other. I'm this age and I just want to be in a relationship. I'm not finna be wasting, what I'm saying, taking all that time to date. I already know you and no, you don't know me. And then this time too, I wasn't even in the process of changing who I am today.
Right.
I was still who I was. So he probably did know me, but why would you want to get back with that same person if it didn't work? You know what I'm saying, with me or
That's a
you?
good question. That's a good question. Yeah.
So yeah, and so it's like I'm not gonna be just jump hard into a relationship with you, and neither one of us have changed. So the relationship is gonna be the exact same. It's what I'm saying. We just definitely, but like he loved for some reason he loves to argue, like because he can't see his wrong or don't want to hear his wrong. It'll be a point, and I always meet these type of men that can tell me all about me, like literally can tell me about me, everything I do wrong, every whatever, even make stuff up. And
Right.
I hear it. You know what I'm saying? I don't, sometimes I don't even agree with it because we lying, but I let them tell me. Soon as I go to tell them about them, oh, they talk over me. They don't want to hear it. It's an argument. And I'm like, how you know what I'm saying? They say, don't go in the kitchen if you can't stand the heat or something like that. You
Right.
can't stand the heat, don't go in the kitchen.
Right.
So don't walk in my kitchen and turn on the stove. And then when I turn on the other owl, you got to leave the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? You
Right.
can't take the heat that I'm giving you, but you want to bring me heat. So that's
I
what
I I get what you're
basically
trying to
my
say.
exes. Yeah, that's what my exes are. Like
Right.
they don't take accountability, and they love to point out your flaws, but they can't hear their own flaws. And it's like it just become argumentative. And so I was, and then when I said that, it started to become argumentative. But then he's like, "But I understand where you going, and I'm on this path, and you on that path. I'm not gonna date you. I'm not gonna date nobody. I'm, I'm saying this age, and so I'm not trying to do all that." I'm like, "So you just gonna jump into a relationship with anybody because you don't want to date?" He's like, "No, I'm talking about you. Like I know who you are. You don't know me apparently, and if you do know me, why do you want to go back and date me at this place that I'm
Right.
still at?" It's just so weird. So as of today, no,
No.
because I've tried and it's the same outcome. And we haven't even get dated. It's just a conversation that we
So
had.
let me ask you this, because you said this, and it was kind of thought provoking. Why would a person want to go back to date their ex? Why would they want? I mean, and don't even think of a particular person. I want you to think
Mm-hmm.
in general, because it'll probably be easier. But think about it, and you guys out there in the comments, help us out. Why would a person
Because
want to go back to
comfort.
to
It's
um?
comfort. It's comfort. You feel, and then right
Yeah.
now today's dating pool is pissy. So
Okay.
instead of going through having to swim through all this piss, you might as well go to the piss that you already had because you already know what you're dealing with in that pool. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The piss ain't that it ain't that yellow. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
like the
It's some
lesser
water being
evil.
absorbed in that piss. Yes.
Like, I mean, because I'm a believer in, and somewhat a believer in, I'd rather deal with the devil that I do know.
Right.
And I used to say this a long time ago, but I think it still has some truth to it. And I believe that's why it was easier for me to want to stay, which is not a good reason, but
Yeah.
I can
Because you
legit
don't want to
say
stick.
that I all women would be somewhat the same,
Mm-hmm.
and I'd rather stay with the one that I do know, the one that knows where the bodies are buried, the ones that I told my secrets to. I'd rather just stay
Mm-hmm.
there instead of you okay?
Yeah, I'm adjusting.
Okay. I I'm like, this is not OnlyFans now.
I'm creating one, matter of fact. No, I'm kidding. I need some money. I'm gonna get an
All right,
OnlyFans.
guys.
I don't know what to do on. I don't know
Live
what I'm
with
gonna do
Eric
on
and
it yet.
SoSo
Maybe
is
I'll twerk
officially
or
shut
something.
down. We
I it's gonna be a secret. It ain't gonna even be my name. It's gonna be somebody else. You won't even know it's me. I'm gonna have a mask on the whole time.
Hey, I ain't mad at you, dude. Hey, because when
Hey,
Ruffles,
people get millions off
when,
OnlyFans. I gotta come up.
yeah, when Ruffles don't send that check, man, that means you got to do what you got to do.
I gotta come up in this world.
But yeah, so that yeah, I believe that there's a place where I'd rather date the devil that I do know than to risk finding somebody else. Now with me, I seen that devil. I seen it, and I'm like,
Mm,
you know what? Um, that in my personal case, then I said, that devil that went out of their way to hurt me in ways that I never had my worst enemy try to hurt me.
mm,
That devil it's the devil that I don't want to deal with. You see what I'm saying? Because I seen something in you that I never thought would be in in you, especially in someone who said, you know, I love you. You know what I'm saying? At any point for what any
mm,
reason. So I'm like that devil. No, I don't need to go back to that devil. I'll take my chances. Because sometimes, and I'll tell you this too. See, I had to realize in during my healing process that I did some crazy crap. You see what I'm saying?
mm-hmm,
To where I realized that over the years of me, rejecting and not being open and all this type of stuff, just things that I just call, well, that's just the way I am. See, it was
mm-hmm.
only so much a person can deal with that. You see? And I thought, hey, well, I'm not perfect, you're not perfect, you just get along. No, the truth of the matter is we supposed to evolve. We supposed to get better.
Exactly.
And and
That's
and
the
and
part.
that's the part. And I wasn't doing that. You know what I'm saying? So I really could look at myself and say, you know what? I created this monster. Okay. And
Mm,
because of the things that over years and years she was begging me, to do these things and whatever. And I'm thinking, no, you locked down. I ain't got, it to where I didn't see it. You see, that's why I can be so passionate about it now, because I can tell you, brother, you know, uh you better listen, because she's doing a whole lot of talking now. There's gonna come a time where she ain't gonna say nothing.
mm-hmm.
And
And that's when
that's
you know it. She's getting. That's when you
yeah,
know she's about to go. When
yeah,
the
that's
woman stopped caring,
yeah.
either A, she out there caring about somebody else, or B,
Hmm.
she's preparing herself. She's already gone mentally, and
Yeah,
she's just physically preparing herself to go. When
yeah,
she's
and
quiet,
yeah.
you lost her. It
Right.
ain't no coming back.
Matter of fact, the chances of you, I was counseling a couple not too long ago, and normally it's the woman that's real gun ho, hey, we need counseling. And but this
Mm-hmm.
this particular case, it was the other way around. The guy was, he was for it, and the wife was not for it. But one of the things that, during the conversations, is that I just realized that she had checked out. She checked out a
Yeah,
long time ago,
a
and I'm
long
like,
time ago.
and
Women
and
would check out and still be there for about 5, 6 more years.
yeah,
Because I remember I remember you seeing the Medea's play. It was a big happy family, and at the end of the play, and she was talking about the two birds, and one of the birds who flew from one nest, and she would take a piece of one nest and then fly to another part of the tree, another part of another tree, and then she'll
yeah,
come back, and then she'll take another piece of the other nest, and she'll go and basically building a whole nother nest. And she was like, so if you got a bank account and you noticing every week $25 is coming missing
oh
from that bank
Lord,
account, best believe she's building up a bank account for her because she's preparing to leave.
yeah,
And that's what happens when after a woman done had so much and dealt with so much or whatever, and she's basically done
mm-hmm.
it. And and sometimes just thinking about how long probably she's been trying to get him to go to counseling, how
Oh yeah,
long probably she's been trying to fix this relationship, and he's been rejecting it and been saying no, up until he realized that he's losing her.
it's,
Which
and
when
let,
ever since he
and
realized that she checked out, now you want to go to counseling, but now it's too late. She's already gone mentally.
let me
She's
help you with
building a
something.
foundation. She could be straight once she leave physically.
Let me shed some light on something. Okay, so I'm gonna deal with what you just said. Okay, now, first of all, I'm gonna just say that in successful relationships, you have to have the spirit of compromise. Okay, so let me
Mm-hmm.
just say that. But there is a place where like if just say that the wife wanted something that the husband just was real adamant that either he didn't want to do or couldn't do or whatever the case may be. Okay.
Mm,
And over so now you got for whatever that is, you got years and years of her asking and him saying no. Okay.
right.
Now, so only thing that I want you to see is that there is a place where he really could have been right. Okay, for whatever the reason being, he could have been right. I don't.
Right about
I
what?
what that's what I was gonna say. I'm not gonna say what that is, but I just want you to understand for the for this theory. I want you to understand that whatever it is, whatever that is, just imagine that he's right. Okay, so
Mm,
and what I want you to do is I want you to be prepared for the selfishness that can sneak up, and now we have to deal with it. Okay, because let's say that he's right. That's right, spirit of compromise. Who said that? I don't have no name.
let me see. Must be. Wait, I'm gonna see it. Hold on.
The spirit of compromise.
It
Amen.
must be. Oh, Lorenzo. Let me go back to the comments.
Okay, what's up,
Hey
Lorenzo?
Lorenzo, you showed up. Usually Lorenzo is one of my actors actually in my movie Joey and Jory, the hip hop love story.
Okay,
He
okay.
is actually a really experienced actor. He's in everything. And he plays my character James. And
All
he's my
right.
friend and he's such a really great person. But Lorenzo, usually I'm surprised. I'm glad you caught us. Good thing we on kind of late because he usually will comment like later on, like a couple of days after we done aired because
Ah, okay.
he's so busy doing all his acting and stuff,
Well,
you
see,
know. Oh,
he's
Lorenzo, I
right on
used your
time.
wine glass today, matter of fact. Thank you for that. It's nice. Yeah.
Yeah, that
So
that
he's a good
is that's that spirit of compromise. So what and that's the way it should be. You should have that spirit of compromise. But what I want, the point that I'm making is simply this: what if he was really right? Okay, and then what if she's really wrong? But then she
about
still hmm,
about
about whatever it is. It don't matter. It could be about buying a car. You know what I'm saying? He's saying no, we're not gonna buy a car, but she's saying
she's
I
not
want to
gonna
buy a car.
mentally check out from that.
But
I'm talking about.
that's why I didn't want to put it. I didn't want to put whatever a person would mentally check out for.
But
Just
see, no, see,
plug that
women put up
in.
with a whole. Let me talk to you as a woman because you're putting your view in and you're a man. All right, let me tell you what causes women to really mentally check out.
Okay,
Okay,
I'm gonna let you say that.
so
I'm gonna let you say that, but I'm gonna still use that same point. So go
I
ahead.
don't care. It don't matter. That point don't even. That point is insufficient. All right. So anyway, yeah. So a woman will put up with a man's crap, the cheating, the lying, the lack of attention, the negative talking, the abuse, or whatever it is. Women don't
Okay.
just check out on a good man. Women don't just check out on a disagreement of a buying a vehicle or who's cooking dinner.
Okay.
Okay. It has to be consistent neglect, should I say? That's the word I'm going to use. And when I say neglect, it's abuse, is what I'm saying, and abuse coming emotionally, verbally, physically, mentally. All
Okay.
right. And so that's what makes a woman fully check out when she's feeling isolated and she's feeling like she don't have a friend in him anymore. She's feeling like he's not there no more. There's a lack of support from him. She would put up with it for years, many
Mm-hmm.
years.
Okay.
Eventually, if it and she would, but she would never just be quiet. See, men are quiet about what's going on with their feelings. Women aren't. And
Let
we
me
would
let
bring
me
it up and we would bring it up and we would bring it up. And then it would go to, oh, you're nagging, you're nagging. And it's never okay, let's go to counseling, let's fix this. And it's always a no, no, we don't got nothing to fix. I don't believe in counseling, or we'll go set it up, but it never happens. Or whatever. Because that's what happened with my ex too. Two of my exes, my son's father.
role play with me then. Role play because I want you to see
Let me.
something. Okay. I want
Okay. Well,
you
let me
you
get
you.
finish my points.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Anyway, the role play so you can see something, just so you can feel like you're right when you're wrong.
And I'm gonna let
Anyway,
you play
so
your role. You're gonna play you.
So with my ex, okay, so let's talk about my first ex, my son's father. We
Uh-huh.
was going through, and we was having, he was cheating. He was, even when I was pregnant, like he was lying to me, and just a lot. And but he
Okay.
kept wanting to be with me. And and I told him, like, okay, let's go to counseling. Let's fix this. We can go to counseling. He's like, so I'll call and I set up the counseling session. The day of counseling, I call him, hey, are you, to see if he's coming. No answer. No, he basically no call, no show me. So then weeks pass, what I'm saying? We talking again. And I bring up counseling again. He's like, set it up, da da da. Do it again. I get this man 3 times to go
Wow.
to counseling with me to fix things.
Okay.
At the second time, I was basically done, but I was
Right.
like, let me see again. Because at the second time, I was basically mentally already gone. But I'm like, let me see if this can be repairable before I
Right.
fully leave. The
Right.
third time, he didn't show up. So in
Embarrass you
my
too
head,
then.
I'm like, he don't want this. He's saying
Right.
he want this because he like whatever it is around it, but he
Right.
don't really want it. So
Right.
that's the point where I physically left, said I'm done. We wasn't living together, but I basically broke up with him. My my former ex was the same way. He actually went to counseling.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but I've been through so much with him, and putting up with so much that it got to the point where I was halfway gone mentally. And then we went to counseling. We went to
Mm-hmm.
2 days counseling, then we did two separate individual counseling.
Mm-hmm.
And he couldn't take the heat. We had an assignment where basically we took turns telling each other what each other did to us. We couldn't tell them how it made us feel. We basically
Right.
had to tell them what they were doing. And then
Okay.
the therapist would ask us, well, how do you feel about what she's saying? And I wanted him to go first because I knew he don't like hearing what he do. And I knew it
Right.
wouldn't go well if I went first, but he told me to go first. And in my head, I'm like, it's not going to go well because he don't like hearing about him.
Right.
I really wanted him to go first so he can tell me everything about me. And so when therapist asked him, well, how do you feel about what she's saying? Well, he started, instead of saying how he felt about what I was saying, he starts saying things about what I did. And so the therapist stopped him and was like, no, that's not what I asked you. So he told me to continue on, and I continued on. So my ex abruptly stopped and said, I'm not doing this. And he walked out and he left the counseling section
Okay.
because he couldn't take it. So with that being said, I was like, so I stopped talking. I continued to talk to the therapist, and he's like, you just come see me separately, blah, blah, blah. Like he's really not in tune to it. So that really took the other half that I had left mentally to stay, hoping
Right.
that the therapist would work. I checked out. A year before I physically left, I had
Mm-hmm.
already mentally left. So when he kept saying, well, you stop doing this, you stop doing that, you stop being like this, you stop being like that, it was because I was gone mentally. So I didn't care how you felt about how I treated you anymore.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't care about making sure you had dinner when you came home. I didn't care about making sure you had a quiet house when you came home. I didn't care about your needs sexually or anything when you came home because I was already mentally checked out,
Right.
you know, for a whole year. And then the next year I left.
Right. Yeah. And you probably got to a point where you was like, I wish I would have just left earlier. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So why didn't you just leave earlier?
Because it was comfort. It was
Yeah.
comfort. And I was used to it. I was used to being around him. You get to a point where you try to like imagine yourself dating other people or outside that relationship, and they always pop up some kind of way in your thoughts, and you're like, dang, I can't imagine my life without being in his thoughts. And to this day, we talk, like we check on each other and stuff. He's
Mm-hmm.
engaged now. I don't know. I mean, I guess he was dating a girl that when we was together or something. 'Cause he's like engaged like less than a year of us leave departing. So, but
Right.
we check on each other or whatever. So
But
it's
don't
like
don't
it's
mess up
it's
his
better
don't
now.
mess up his engagement now. Yeah.
Girl, she can have him, boy. Let me tell you. So I hope his kids
Yeah.
ain't watching.
So you
But
still talking to your ex? Nah.
I talk to all my exes
No, I'm
on
just saying
social
that
media
that's what
or a check
that's what
in.
his fiance gonna say.
Oh yeah, so I mean, she knew because she had him call and say that he couldn't communicate with us anymore and da 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 and
What?
this and that.
So
Yeah,
he
and I was
did
like, damn, you
the
would never do that for me. When I tried to tell you to call some girl and tell her about me, I said, what's so special about this chick?
you
But she
said
wasn't
that.
that special. But guess what? He ain't mean it because we still talk. So
See,
he just got
that's
another
you
phone
don't
number.
you can't say that
He
live. You can't
ain't
say
changed.
that. She
I
might be
don't care.
watching
I
this.
told you I don't be caring on some things. Like it is what it is. Like it
Wow.
happens. It won't be a podcast about don't tell the truth.
Yeah,
So
no. We all lie on podcasts. Come on now.
I don't lie. I don't lie. I don't lie
Yeah.
unless I need to, and there's no point in me
Uh,
lying.
okay.
So
Well, when listen, yeah, don't send me no hate mail because I ain't said nothing.
as long as his kids ain't watching, let me make sure they're not in
This
the
is
comments.
a personal account.
Yeah.
This ain't got nothing to do with the show.
But yeah, but no, but it's it's cool though. But it's like women don't just check out mentally over some petty stuff, over a disagreement of a car or a
Well,
disagreement of
see,
stuff.
that's why I didn't want to qualify it because I mean, of course you're right. You know what I'm saying? You're
Of
exactly
course, I'm
right.
right. Of
But
course.
that's why
Wouldn't
I
be a
was
show if
like,
I wasn't
I really didn't want to qualify because it could be you can whatever makes you want to check out, you know, you check out.
But it's
Whatever
yeah,
that
but
is.
it's not like I said, it's not petty things because we'll
Well,
deal with it, and if it's we won't change on your end. Like it just won't change on your end. Like if because like I said, created, we are emotional creatures, and we are expressive people. And when we shut down and we stop caring and we stop coming to you about it, we stop talking about it. We don't care what time you come in the house. We don't care where you been. And you know, you used to us as calling you, hey, where you at? Or what time you coming home? And you don't get those phone calls or those text messages anymore. And you don't get when you come in the house, we sleep in fully clothed in our pajamas. It ain't nothing sexy about us. You know, so we got a bonnet on our head. Like, you know, dang, why you you know,
yeah.
like
See,
that's when, you know what I'm saying, we're done.
but all I'm trying to say, beloved, is that there could be another side to the story. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
not.
It is. I mean,
No, it's
and
not.
I know that it is because I
Mm-mm.
lived it. You know what I'm saying? I
No.
lived it. You know,
This,
let me share this with you then, so you'll see what I'm talking about. See, I would get those phone calls about where you at, why you still at work,
mm-hmm.
blah blah. You know, then it goes to who you with, why you ain't you cheating, blah blah. Well, see, this is what I know. I know that the position that I had caused me to work crazy. I worked late. I got it. I went in early. I stayed late,
And did
and
she know this? She
I'm
knew
sorry.
about these did she know about these hours ahead of time?
Well, she knew.
Like,
She
did she
knew.
know that you usually stay out late and you're coming in because of work?
Right. The same. Only job. Same job. Same position. Doing the whole
Okay, same
marriage.
situation.
Same
Okay.
situation. Okay. So ain't nothing changed. She know that I was committed to it from day one. You know. So I mean, when I tell you, yeah, from day one, yeah, I only had one job in my life. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so it was, through that. So that was it. Okay. But that didn't stop her from having these insecurities. Okay. Now, what I want you to understand is that's why I was saying he could be right. See, I know what I was doing, and I wasn't going to keep telling you over all these years, explaining to you why I don't have a 9 to 5. Okay, I don't have it. I was running a district from Ohio to Birmingham, Alabama. Oh, somebody left a long message. I
That's
hope they.
Lorenzo, you know.
I was just gonna say.
Lorenzo be having a lot to say. He be having a lot to
I
say.
got scared. I was like, I hope that ain't her.
Yep.
I got scared.
But
I like shut the
let me
live out. Shut the live.
let me let me Let me cut this really quick. Let me cut you off really quick before you finish and we read
Okay,
Lorenzo's
go ahead.
paragraph. Here's the thing. If you knew, so you say you was under the covenant, you wanted to keep your marriage, you was, you know what I'm saying, you didn't want to get divorced.
Hmm.
So if you knew that your hours, and I know you can't control nobody's insecurities, right? But you
Right,
can. If you knew that the hours you were working caused issues in a relationship, and this is sacrifices in marriages, right?
right,
So if you knew that that caused an insecurity to her, and for some reason you've never cheated on her, but she have this insecurity that you are, or you. I mean, it could be one that she's cheating. Sometimes when people cheat, they try to blame the other person. That
yeah,
could be one
yeah.
thing, and then that's thrown out. That's thrown out the window for what I'm finna say. But what I'm finna say is thrown out the window if that was the
But you
case.
just being real.
But right, but
Mhm.
um, otherwise, if she wasn't cheating and if in your work hours caused the insecurity because it might have been something that she wasn't healed from oh no, but you was her only relationship also, right?
No, no.
Oh, she had a
And
relationship
she
before
wasn't
you.
my only. She wasn't my only relationship
What do you
either.
mean
I'm
y'all was
just
in high
saying.
school? I mean, how many relationships could y'all really
No,
had?
no,
Real, I'm talking real
no,
relationship.
no. I said I had to go back to high school, but we didn't start dating. We didn't even go to the same high school. It
No,
was, but we were,
okay,
but
so
we
she could
were.
have been what?
Good.
She could have been unhealed from a previous relationship of cheating, right?
Right,
And maybe the guy that was cheating on her was out late and was blaming work for his reason. And then she found out that it wasn't really work, that it was another woman. So when you started working these hours, and you know you worked them for years and years and years, and these hours just still seem like there is never no time for me within these hours where
right.
he's out late, he's not trying to compromise
I know where you're
to be make
going.
sure he's home. He's trying to make sure he's home. And so you are wrong. Okay? You
I
are
knew you.
wrong because
I knew you was going. I knew where you. Listen,
you
see,
did not make a compromise, a sacrifice for your marriage. You put
yeah,
work before your home. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? If
yeah,
that work took away your time at home and it caused problems in your marriage and insecurities to the woman you love, you probably should have either cut down on that work, made that part time, and get another job where you were able to be work and be at home. You
right,
didn't make a sacrifice for your family. You put work first. So you were wrong.
right. Yeah, yeah,
So she
yeah.
mentally checked out on your wrongness.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean
I
that,
did.
here's the thing. Um I totally get what you're saying. Okay. And I know a lot of people would agree with you. Okay.
Of course. Yeah, well,
Only
you
thing
always agree with me.
only thing that I want you only thing I want you to understand, and anybody else that will, that will agree with you, is that there is another side to the story. Okay, because see, here's the thing that happens in relationship. One thing could just be happen because it's naturally, well, let me put it like this: there's always an action, then there's always a reaction. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Reactions in relationships, um got it, can very easily be a selfish act. Okay. Understand what I'm saying? A reaction.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
now you got an action. I did this.
That's like revenge for cheating.
Exactly. So, and you doing, and it's gonna have a selfish nature to, because now you're gonna say, "I'm just thinking about me and how I feel." Anytime you start
Mm-hmm.
thinking about just you in a relationship, then you're gonna mess up. Now you're gonna, what, Eric? Were you just thinking about you? No, I was thinking about
Yeah.
my wife. I was thinking about my 4 kids. I was thinking about my mortgage. I was thinking about all of those things, and
So
and
you
that
don't think
was
she's
my
thinking
that
about
was
her and
my
her four
action,
kids?
huh?
But she's not thinking about her and her four kids, how you weren't spending
No,
time with her or your four
that's
kids?
what I want you to see. I need you to listen, because we're talking about actions that's natural. It's natural for a real man to take care of his family, right? So we're talking about
Yeah, but
actions,
not 24 hours.
and now we're talking about now we're talking about a reaction. And I'm telling you, if you don't if you can automatically think that my reaction is valid, but what you should do is really just take time and ask yourself, is it from a selfish nature? Because selfishness is
No,
going to be the number one relationship killer. And
of course it is.
anytime you can look at you, even if we just look at this one situation, this one scenario, and you're gonna say, well, hey, this man have always worked this way. I know he's at work. I can call. He's always answer phone, whatever the case may be. But I
Mhm.
still feel like I'm being neglected. You might
Mhm.
want to either get help or get your hobby.
Or what if she had a
Or
hobby and she was done with her hobby and you still not home and you will usually
no,
and she wanted you to
because
be her
you're
hobby for the night.
because you
And then
say
you
I
come
should have
home late
just quit my
and
job.
I said you should have went part-time on that job and maybe got another job where
So
you can
I
be
can
home
go
more.
I can go from from managing over 300 people
See, that's
to
selfish. See,
working
you
part
looking at
time.
you looking at how big your position was in your job, but not how big your position was in the house. So then you get
No,
off late, right?
no.
All this work, you get off late, then you want to come home and you expect her to wait up for you so you can go and make love to her. But then when she don't want to make love to you because she's been waiting on you to come home all night, you get mad at her because
No.
she's already
Now
in the bed
I
or whatever. And
now so I never said that.
you ain't
Are
gotta
you
say it. It's
projecting?
just how it was. No, I'm not. Not at
Listen,
all. I
listen.
dated a truck driver, so I already know how it was to be
Listen.
at home for 3 days
I
straight without my man.
I need you to
So
come back. I need you to come back to the show, okay?
no, I am. I'm just saying. I'm talking about you
I
because
never said that.
men always have an
Hey,
excuse. Men always have a reason. Men always have an answer. And it's like then
no,
y'all make women look like we're crazy because we care
I
because we
did.
want to spend time with y'all. It's selfish for us to want to spend time with our man. And that's
No,
always been an issue with men when we talk about you working too much. Then y'all say, well, I don't work enough, you complain. Well, you can work, but make time for me and your kids. It's not selfish that we want to spend time with you.
that
It's not selfish
listen,
that we want you in a household.
listen. Listen. I understand it. If doing it over again, I understand it. And if
That's not
um,
true, Lorenzo.
let's go ahead and let's do some
Go ahead.
comments because
Let's
I'm
read
kind of curious.
Lorenzo's because he says sometimes as the season change in your life, that person may not be appropriate for that season of your life no longer. True. They may not be who God wants you to share the part of your journey with. True. That's
Hmm.
if you have chosen to follow what God wants for you. That person may not be included in what God has in store for you. There, I agree with everything you just said, besides the third thing you said. All right. Then you said most men, such as me, fall victim to being the man who works a lot, but she spends a lot. We needed health insurance, and I had a small business. The selfishness is real.
Yeah.
Well, you should have called the state. No, I'm kidding. Should have
Come on.
should have called Eric. And
Yeah.
then this one you say, so wants an excuse to cheat to justify it. I never said I would cheat. I said I would leave. You know what I'm saying? I would leave
Yeah.
before I would cheat.
Only thing I'm not saying anything you're saying is wrong. I'm just
Of
saying
course
that
not. I'm never wrong.
if 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 you don't take time and consider both, that there's a reason, there's a cause and there's an action. There's a cause and there's a reaction. There's a cause and
Mhm.
there's an effect.
I teach my
You know what
kids
I'm
that.
saying? So you have to take time and just and step back, and act. When I put it like this, in that same scenario, if everybody was 100% healthy, that
Hmm.
would have never been an issue.
I think it would because you're still not home. I love
Now,
you too,
now trust me,
Lorenzo.
healthy
All
people,
right. I don't need to
if you
speak.
healthy in the head, then I promise you, you
Black
would not
women
be
don't
that
cheat, Lorenzo.
insecure.
Okay,
You would not be that
black
insecure.
black women don't cheat. All right, so let's just cut that out. Let's just get that out the way
Black
right now.
women
Black women
don't
don't
cheat.
cheat. That's black women don't cheat. That's what it is.
What do y'all
It
call
is
it
what it
then?
is.
What do y'all
We
call it
call
when
it.
y'all
What do you
in a
mean?
relationship but you sleeping with somebody else? What
That's
do you
not
call
cheating.
it?
That's because we're hurt and y'all did it first. So we don't cheat. We just go. We follow the leader. Okay. So anyway,
So that's
we
not
don't cheat.
cheating. That's
No, it's
okay.
cheating. It's
Look,
following the leader. You the leader.
I can't
You're the. It
tonight.
starts with the man. It starts with upper management, right?
So
So
this is
if you're upper management,
do
he
as
say,
I do as I
don't push
do.
it. I
Don't
just
do
said I
as I
love you.
say.
Don't make it. He make it back.
Yeah, take that back, man. Take it back, cause
Gotcha.
she on something tonight, man. Listen,
Black women don't cheat.
I just want her to stop taking stuff so personal and
I'm
quit
not taking it personal.
projecting
I'm
on
speaking
this.
for all women. I wish it was more women on here. We had a lot of men on here tonight. Where is Cynthia and Marianne? Like,
Yeah.
we need more women on here. Here's the thing. I'm speaking for women in general because I talk to a lot of women. Talk to a lot of men too. And especially when I put post stuff in my group page. Women, it's like men always find an excuse to blame the woman for whatever y'all do. It's like y'all have and y'all need to be understood, but y'all do not try to understand us. Y'all, whatever y'all do, it's always a justification for it. But let it be us. Let it be your woman working all these crazy hours, late nights, coming home at 12 o'clock in the morning. Every day her schedule is different. Every day her
Mm.
schedule different. One day she might get home at 3 o'clock. One day she might get home at 11 o'clock.
Mm.
But she
That's
working.
too big of a
But her
gap.
schedule is different. I mean, I'm just saying her schedule different. She might have had more clients this day than she did the other day.
Yeah.
She might have gave herself a,
The
might have
lies she
was able
tell.
to not have to go to this, might not have to go to this job, these companies, because she's a dish over every district or whatever. So
Right.
maybe these stores didn't need her that day, but they
Right.
needed her the next day. So her schedule varies, and it's been like this since y'all met. But you're always at home with the kids.
That sounds
You
so
gotta do all the
submit.
housework and deal with the kids, right?
Right.
And
Yeah.
so since
Yeah.
you had to do all the housework, deal with the kids, and she's hardly home, that would not be understood with you as a man.
How do you
But
know
because you
that?
as a man does it, because I know, because men don't understand what women do, like they want women to understand what they do. Everything
Man,
y'all do is supposed to be justifiable and understandable. And even in any situation, in relationships, in the court of law, any situation, what a man does, it has to be justifiable. It has to be understood. But when
right.
a woman does it, it's not understanding. It's just like if a man go and sleep with 100 women. Oh, he's a
Right.
player. He's a boss. A
Okay.
woman goes sleep with 100 men. She's a hoe.
Right. Who
It's not
said that?
understood. Y'all. Okay. So
What?
men,
So you telling me that women don't say that a man is a hoe because
we
he
can
slept
say
he
it, but that
slept
don't
on
mean that. But it doesn't have the same effect. That's a cool thing.
because
Oh, he a hoe girl.
we
He
chose
he
that.
for them streets. He community dick.
We
That
can't
don't
we
mean nothing.
we
It
can't
has
be,
no
I
value
can't
to it.
tell you how if someone called a woman a hoe and that hurt her feelings, that's something that she has to deal with because she made a conscious decision to go out and sleep with 100 people.
You see what
I
I'm
made
saying?
a
But if I called you a hoe, it would not hurt your feelings. You know why? Because calling a man a hoe holds no value as a woman being called a hoe. Because
but
a woman, if
but
you
the
with your
woman can
boys,
choose the
if
same thing.
no,
You think a
listen, no,
woman can
no, no, no.
choose to just
See what
take
I mean?
back and just
Not
she's
not
she
at
can say,
all.
you know
Not
what,
at all.
I'm a
Because I could
hoe
have been a
and I'm a
hoe in
good
my
hoe.
20s. I could have been a hoe in my 20s, but a wholesome woman in my 40s. But let the
Yeah.
guys who have sex with me in my 20s see me in my 40s. And they tell that guy I'm dating, man, everybody used to smash her. We used to run trains on her. That guy, my value goes down. Now let you have been a hoe in your 20s as a man, and now you're a stand-up man in your 40s, and let a woman come to the girl you dating like, oh, he's a fuck every woman. That woman ain't finna leave you, ain't finna look at you no kind of way. It's no value. But let you had told a guy that I'm dating in my 40s that I used to get trains ran on me in my 20s. Oh, you gonna look at me down, and any
I'm gonna be
chance you
honest
get, you
with
gonna
you.
call me a hoe.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't see no guy really doing that. If you
Oh,
did
trust me, guy.
if
If a guy is a hater, he will do that. But I'm
I'm
just saying,
I
I'm just
don't
saying. See,
know.
why are you going
I
around it?
wouldn't
You say I don't
I
see no
wouldn't
guy
do it.
doing that. That's not my point of who if you would do it or not.
Well,
I'm just saying if
I'm
it was done. If
no,
it was
no,
done.
no, no, no. Listen, I can see a guy doing it. You know what I'm saying? I would me personally, I'll just answer it that way. If you did something in your 20s, I'd be double dumb to sit here and hold that against you in your 40s. That
Trust
don't
and
make
believe me,
sense
if
to
we
that.
got in an argument, if I'm with a man that's that type of man, the first thing he would throw in my face is how I was a hoe. Because he
Well,
have that leverage
if you
now. He
doing
have that
hoish things
information now.
now, then I mean,
No, he would. It don't. I don't have to be a hoe now because of my past. People like to throw your past in your face. But
Well,
see, a
I
woman
mean,
won't do that to a man. But a
once
man was a hoe
again,
in his past.
I think it's the
Yeah,
quality of man. I think it's the
I
quality of
think that
man.
it's just that a woman is not understood as a man likes to be understood. Men don't try to understand women. If I now say this, if we was in a relationship, and the relationship, I'm gonna read your comments in a minute. If we was in a relationship
Like me and you.
and you cheated on and okay, not
Oh,
and you cheated on me, all
okay.
right, you cheated on me,
Right.
and I confronted you about it. And you
Right.
say, oh, it wasn't nothing, she didn't mean nothing to me, it was just a thing that happened or whatever. You would want me, you're gonna explain so that I can understand it. And
Okay.
you expect me to stay with you. I cheated on you. And I said the exact same words as you said to me.
Hmm.
It ain't no understanding, it ain't no listening, it ain't no reason for it. You are gone out that door. Most
So
men,
what's
you
the
might get
problem?
2% of men that stay. What you mean? What's the problem? When
Yeah.
you cheat, you want to be understood. It's a justification for why you cheated. If
Okay.
I cheated, it's no justification. You are out. You can't even look at
No,
me the
no, no,
same.
no. You're not
Yes,
doing that right. You're not
no,
doing it right.
it's true.
You
Women
said
stay,
you
men
said I
leave.
can do. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna say the same thing that the man said. In
Right,
other words, that woman wanted justification if she said the same thing that the man
right. But
said.
she doesn't get it. But she don't
But
get
that
it.
is not
You
his
gone.
fault.
No, I'm saying, listen to me. You're not understanding what I'm saying. All I'm
I'm
saying is
understanding pretty
when
good.
when men do things, there's always they want to be understood. It's always a justification by what he did, like with your whole work situation. But if a woman did the same thing a man did, there's no justification or understanding from a man. It's looked at differently from when a woman does it. So
Well,
it's
whose
like you're
fault is
saying like,
that?
oh, you wasn't wrong because you was working so much and it turned the relationship around, but she was wrong because she had insecurities.
No,
She
so
wasn't
so
wrong.
let me help you out with that then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, one, if you look at me now, then I
Mm-hmm.
can say that I was dead wrong. I was talking about my mentality then. Okay, my
Okay.
mentality now is like, yeah, I should have made adjustments. Okay, so that whole thought of men want justification. Listen, women want justification. Now
Yes, we do. We don't get
you
it.
can't you can't be mad if you give grace. And then, I mean, because basically what you're saying is you want a man to give you the same grace that you're willing to give a man. That's all what you're saying.
I'm just saying that it's not wrong for a woman to feel, what I'm saying, one basically I'm going following off of what you're saying. You were saying like she was wrong because her insecurities or whatever. And if they was both healthy, then that situation wouldn't happen. Even if you're both healthy, the situation would happen because it's not that she would think she would be insecure about you cheating, but the situation would happen because she wants you to be home.
Right,
You
but I
both can
can't be
be
home.
healthy and happy with yourselves and happy in your relationship. But at some point of your schedule, constantly for years, you had the same schedule and you never tried to reduce your schedule so you can spend more time at home. That's selfish on you. And
Yeah.
so at a point of me being with, I'm married to you in 30 and for 32 years, you've had the same schedule. You've never, and I didn't say anything for the first 30 years. I didn't say anything. It bothered me, but I didn't say anything to you because I knew this is what you did. But
Right.
now it's like, okay, we at this point right now, we're getting older, kids are out the house. I need some time with my husband.
Right.
And now I'm gonna say something to him. But then you looking like, well, why you ain't say nothing in 30 years? Well, because
Y-
I wanted to keep I didn't want to cause issues or I didn't know how you would take it. But now
Right.
we're going into close to retirement, blah, blah, blah. I want to, you know what I'm saying? I want some kind of time with you. I don't know how much longer I got on this earth and we barely spend time together. I don't even know you.
Right. All of
I think
that,
it's
all of
it's
that
selfish
is all of that is fine. But if you don't see the selfishness in that on both
in your
parts,
part.
now on both parts, then I don't know what
After
to
30
say.
years of not saying nothing, and when I
That
say something in 31 years, I'm selfish.
Yeah. You were
because
selfish
you
when you
never
were
tried to
saying it.
change
You
your
were
set.
selfish when you weren't saying it. The thing
No,
about
I
it
wasn't.
is
You know what? It
because
wasn't. I
I'm
how?
the proof is in the fact that the only thing that you're doing is reacting to what I acted on, what I was doing. Okay, and the
Mm-hmm.
problem is that you felt some type of way. Okay, which
Mm-hmm.
is to me is justified. Okay, but
Mm-hmm.
when you say, well, hey, I'm going to end our marriage because I'm not getting what I want, and then that's selfish.
Do you not believe that separation actually ends the marriage? That when no time is spent, you start to drift and get used to not spending time with each other, and that you start to become pull apart and depart and go around that curve and derail.
Yeah,
Do you
yeah,
not? So with you not
but that
being home, and I'm so used to you not being home, and I'm so used to being by myself,
no, but see,
it was
you have to prove to me that everybody that it's impossible in any situation, because I know people who stay in different sides of the world and have healthy relationships.
it's
You
not healthy.
Well, I know they
It's not
ain't.
healthy. They look healthy and they might tell you they healthy. It's not healthy. I try long
Well,
distance.
they're gonna
Okay.
be there. It's gonna be healthy until it proves that it's not healthy.
It's
Okay,
not
but
healthy. They're in
right
different
now,
parts of the
I'm gonna
world and
call
you
it
can't even
healthy.
it's not healthy. I'm calling it unhealthy. I'm gonna
So
disagree
you're
with
saying,
you.
okay. Let me make something. I'll bring it a little clear. You telling me that it's unhealthy for you know um say a husband and wife to sleep in separate bedrooms.
I didn't is it unhealthy? I know
Yeah.
couples that sleep in separate bedrooms.
So it's
But they're
that's
in
a
the house together.
separation.
They spend time together. They in the house together. And eventually they go in each other's bedroom to make love, but
Right,
they're in the
right,
house together. They're
right.
spending time together in the house.
Right. So I
They
mean,
just my
so
mom slept in a separate bedroom than my stepdad because my stepdad slept with the TV turned up really loud, and when my mom tried to turn it off, he would turn it back on. And she watched different TV programs for him at night. So they
see,
slept in separate bedrooms, but during the
right,
day they spent time together.
right,
So I won't
right.
say it's unhealthy. It's just that the preference at night is
You
different.
proving my point. You know what I'm saying?
No, you're at work consistently most of the day. So
Yeah,
have
and
more
and
than
he's
12,
sleeping
16 hours
consistently at night.
at night. They spend time
Yeah,
together during the day, or she probably been in his bed before she went in her room.
right. But his
So they did have some quality time in
but
the bedroom. She
and
just went to
what
her
they
bed afterwards.
what they had wasn't what they had was they had conflict, and then they came up with a compromise, and in that compromise they had an agreement. You understand
Right.
that?
I understand that.
that's why I can tell you, I can say, like, I can see it now, where I can see where I could have made some adjustments or whatever the case
You
may
could have.
be. Okay, yeah, I could have, but I had to grow into that. You got to understand. I
Okay.
started this when I was 18 years old. You know what I'm saying?
So
And
you've been doing the
so
same thing at 18 and you never thought when by the time you hit 30, like, damn, I'm missing a lot at home. Damn,
no, I'm
I
gonna tell
barely
you.
even know
I'm
how
gonna
to
tell you.
this.
I realized that because of course I ended up you know doing my own business,
Right.
and which ironically that did not save us, but that's a whole nother situation. And I
Spend
realized
a lot
that
of time on social media. No, I was
I
kidding.
ended I officially was retired in June.
Mm-hmm.
And then that July was the 4th of July came around, and I said this was the first 4th of July that I was literally able first 4th of July in all of my kids' life and all my marriage that I was able to just enjoy the 4th of July
And how
with
old were
my
your
family.
kids?
I don't remember. I don't know how old they is now.
Were they in their 20s? Were they in their teens?
No, they were younger, because I mean you got to think that was let's see, I left in 2012. So
Okay.
so you do the
They was so
math.
preteen,
So that was at
right?
least that was 11 years ago. So yeah,
Mm.
so My twins, they was 15. What I'm
Mm.
saying? My son,
So in
he
15
was at
years
the
of your
point.
kid's life, you were never able to celebrate a 4th of July. And you didn't think
Not
your
like
wife
that.
would get, have some feelings about that, or your kids even having feelings. But maybe she even heard the things that your kids were saying. And so it was like, damn, I keep trying to justify daddy and why he's not home to the kids.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
And
I get
then, but
all
it's
that.
also, it's bothering me. So yeah, so we're gonna go to the
I'm
Renzo comments
okay.
because he got a lot. Oh, you said that already. If women don't cheat, why do they brag about being able to get away with it? Who brags
Mm.
about getting away with cheating?
Man, come
I
on.
don't.
You like in a whole nother world, man. Women brag about that all the time.
I've
Sydney.
never heard a woman brag about how she get away with cheating. Women don't even. Women, first of all, won't publicly say they
Yeah, you
cheat
better
because
start
black
watching
women
some of
don't
these,
cheat.
looking at this
Do black
stuff.
women cheat? Black women do not cheat. All right.
Okay.
So she had more clients. All right. Yeah. See, Lorenzo, that insecurity, right? You don't believe that she had more clients than she did the day before. But what if it was true? Just
But she
like you
was
would want her to think that you had more clients than the day before when you did, and it was true. But she would get that same insecurity. That's what I'm talking about. See how you don't believe her, but you would expect her to believe you. My whole
yeah.
point is thank you for proving my point. All right. So he said it shouldn't be this way, but did you give him the boundary to cheat? You justify it if the man works too much to provide for you and your children. Huh? It's you
Yeah.
had to explain that a little more. Or am I
Yeah,
reading it?
basically saying, hey, the man's out there, he's providing for you and your children. So what's the problem? You know,
So you said
it,
because if I
it,
accuse you of cheating, it's giving you the go ahead to cheat. You just accuse her of cheating in your other tax, so is it giving me the go ahead to cheat? Do it work both ways? That's what I'm
well,
talking about.
I don't know from my understanding, yeah, you probably already was cheating in
No,
that
from
way.
my understanding was I was already mentally leaving
Yeah, I mean,
my
I get
kids.
it, but I think
This conversation is driving me crazy. Larissa, why do we have to cheat? What do we need? What do we need to do in this shit? Do I need to come home on every lunch break and fuck you real hard for 10 minutes just so you don't cheat on me? Do we need to
yeah,
role play cheating on each other with each other? I'm not saying it's just cheating. And that's the thing that I'm
yeah.
not saying it's just
I
cheating.
feel your
All I'm
pain, brother.
saying is, but I'm not saying it's just cheating. All I'm saying is a woman, anybody wants companionship, especially from their companion. And if they're not, a man does too. And if they're not receiving that companionship, it becomes a problem, even in a healthy relationship. Because apparently, if it's a problem, the relationship ain't healthy.
Well,
You know,
and see,
it becomes unhealthy. That issue brought a healthy relationship to become slightly unhealthy. If I'm with you, I'm married to you, we're living in the same household, but I see you 3 hours of the day
man, you just
throughout the
ad
week.
libbing a whole lot of stuff, man.
I
3 hours,
am. I am ab living 3, 4 hours
just
because you probably come home 5 hours, but I'm already in bed, halfway in bed. You coming home at bedtime. Your dinner's in the oven. We done already
yeah.
ate, cleaned up,
Uh, my
showered, went to
my
bed.
my ex,
Kids
my
been
ex,
bathed,
my ex
ready
didn't
for
cook.
school.
She didn't cook. So
Well,
I want I
that's
wasn't getting
that's
no.
some
I
shit.
ain't had nothing in the oven.
You know why she didn't cook? Because she
Uh,
mentally left already.
yeah,
So
she mentally left 30 years ago. Then
she mentally left her. Her mama never taught her to cook.
yeah,
That's all her.
and you know what?
You dealt
Really,
30 years. You
uh,
dealt 30 years without this woman cooking for you. So
and I
something
never
wrong with
held
that
that
too.
against her. That she probably, you
You
see,
probably did. You probably said little things like, "Damn,
I,
wish I come home to a home cooked meal. I
yeah, I
work
ain't gonna
all these
lie.
hours.
I ain't
I
gonna
got to go
lie. I
out
did say that.
and eat." Yeah,
I, I,
exactly. So you did
I
hold
did
it
say
against
that.
her.
I did say. I ain't
Yeah,
gonna
I'm
lie.
sure.
You know.
I worked all these
But
hours.
it
I
didn't
still got to
change.
go
It didn't
order.
change anything. I
Oh,
mean,
it did with you.
it
It
didn't
did with
change
you.
anything.
But it might have changed something in her having to hear it because she's like, well, you want to come home to a
Ah,
home cooked meal, but you ain't coming home
yeah.
for the home cooked meal if I did cook it.
Hey, so would
You
it
see what
make
I'm
a
saying?
difference? Would it make a difference if I stopped at KFC before I got home?
Who the fuck on KFC? But I
Popeyes.
guess
It doesn't matter, man. I mean,
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. If you
and
coming
then,
home saying, "Man, I wish one day I could come home to a home cooked meal," she like, "I wish one day you can come home to eat the home
uh,
cooked meal." You know what I'm
okay.
saying?
So
So it's gonna be again.
what if I came home if I knew it was gonna be a home cooked meal? Now
So
what?
you only coming home because you knew it was a home cooked meal?
No, I'm just playing with you because the thing is, I had a job to do, and and now the point I want you to see is that there got to be a balance in both.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because
It do.
you can't do both. Do you know the story between of Mary and Martha in the Bible when
Would be.
Jesus went to their house and Martha got mad because Martha was going around cleaning and doing all of this, and and she was working, preparing because Jesus and the disciples was there, and she was, she had to cook, she had to clean the house,
Mm-hmm.
and then Mary, her sister, was sitting at the feet of Jesus, and she came in there, and she was complaining to Jesus. She was like, "Look, I'm doing all the cooking, I'm doing all the cleaning, and my sister is just sitting here." Now, what Jesus said was that Mary chose the better of the two. Okay. Now, and basically what he was saying is that, Mary, even though she could be helping you, but if you had a choice between sitting down and at the feet of Jesus, Jesus himself is saying she chose the better. But the
Mm-hmm.
question is, who was going to feed them? How, I'm saying, because they were there for
Jesus,
dinner.
he
So who
turned fish, he turned water into wine, he done fed all them people
that's a
that
different
fish and that
story.
bread. So I'm
But
just saying, Jesus could have been the I'm kidding.
let me finish the story. The,
I'm
here
kidding.
because the moral of the story is this: you got to have a Mary's heart in a Martha's world. That's the balance
Mm-hmm.
that we're in. See, you
Oh,
can't
that's a good
it,
metaphor.
you can't take away what Martha was doing because Martha was really out working and preparing because those disciples had to eat. So Jesus didn't say Martha was wrong. He just said Mary chose the better of the two. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta have time where you're gonna just sit and dwell and be with your spouse, but then you also gotta have time. You also gotta go out there and work. You know what I'm saying?
I
And
understand that, but how often did you sit and dwell and be with your spouse? And on top of that, the wife didn't choose the better of the two because the wife is at home with your badass kids trying to keep them from tearing up the damn house before you come home. So what's the better of the two? You away from the house working and
right,
not having
what
to deal with your own kids,
well,
or me at the house? No, but you know what? I'm kidding because I dated a
I
truck
I
driver,
know you're projecting, but here's the thing.
no, I'm not
Uh,
because I dated
uh
a truck driver, and I'm not gonna lie. In the beginning, when I first moved in with him, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't expecting for him to be gone as much because I thought he would be home every other day. And sometimes,
he's a
no, because
truck
he was
driver.
like he wasn't long distance. He was like, he only went to Kansas City. And so he was home every other day. Like before I moved in, we would go on dates like a lot. You know what I'm saying? Because he was home a lot. And so then when I moved in, it was like, you know what I'm saying? He would get stuck out there or he would be gone for 2 days, 3 days,
Mm,
or whatever. And so
mm,
it was just like, and so it was like, I didn't like it. Like, I'm like,
right,
we don't spend, you know what I'm saying? You gone all the time. Like, I'm here. I just moved
right.
in. We just moved in. Like, we're not together. Like, we supposed to be, you know what I'm saying, being together. We just moved in. I just moved in with you. So,
Mm-hmm.
so it took about a year for me to like really like come to a place to where I got used to being by myself in the
Right,
house. You know what I'm saying? I got used to having to take care of the household by myself and take care of my kids. And so he'd come home. Sometimes he would come home like every other day, or sometimes he'll come home every other day. Or
right.
sometimes he'd come home on the weekends. You know, he used to have weekends off, but then it got to be where he didn't have weekends off no more. It was like he was gone. But then it got to be where, you know why he didn't have weekends off? Because he was on flight with another bitch. Okay.
Wow.
So seriously, I'm not even friends. So it was like I will be like thinking that he's at work and the whole time he's on the trip. You know, so it's like, but I had to realize before I knew that he was on the trip, thinking he's at work. Okay, he at work. You know what I'm saying? He bringing home the money. He, you know what I'm saying, doing this. I didn't have the mindset to cheat. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't up until like it started to get unbearing. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? To where I mentally left. I was still cooking. I was still cleaning. I was still making sure the kids clean. I still was making sure the kids was good for school the next day. You know what I'm saying? He still came home to a cooked meal every day. He got to come home, sit, put his legs up, play his game, watch his TV or whatever he wanted to do, and still had a plate brought to him. No matter
Right.
what, even if he came home late, I would still get up and make his plate. You know, and then he would go and I would get up in the morning, make his lunch, make sure he had something to eat before he went to work. You know what I'm saying? So I was doing, and I wasn't even a wife. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Like I wasn't even a wife. And so I know how it is to have the man outside the home for so long. But did it feel good? No. You know, and then to know that when you were outside the home and you wasn't even working half the time you were outside the home, you were creating other relationships outside the home is even worse. So yeah, so a year, I mentally checked out for a whole year. It wasn't no more
Right.
coming home to cook dinners. It wasn't no more coming home to where you can just kid back. No, you need to order some dinner, or you know what I'm saying. Oh, I didn't make extra dinner, or I just don't feel like cooking, or I didn't feel like
Right.
doing the laundry today. You know, it got to where I became not me no more,
Right.
and because I mentally checked out. And so when we talk today, he always say like, "You stop doing this. You stop listening. You stop doing this." But he never points out why. And when I try to point out why, it becomes an argument.
Well,
So
but you did, but he was cheating.
he was cheating.
He
Oh
was
God, cheating
cheating.
ain't even a word. He was in
Right.
relationships. But he would say, but it was supposed to be understanding. Oh, well, who I come home to? Who's in the house? Who's the main, you know what I'm saying, person in the house? That
Right.
was his like thing or whatever. And I hope my family ain't watching this because they don't even know all this. But
Nah.
yeah, and so then like it would be so when we had split the first time I left, you know what I'm saying, then I had came back and so, hold on, let me read the Renzo comments because I want to get to this bottom comment that his ass has said. Let me say this: when I was married and would be away working in New York, I was as hesitant about coming home after a week of not seeing her. I guess he meant excited. A
Mhm.
man misses being away from that ass. He really does love the smell and touch of his woman. If I can't
Mm.
do what society defines me as being a man, work, why should I look to be in a committed relationship with you, a woman whose speech is oxymoronic? Is that a
Mm.
word? I'm not sure. I think it's a word. I think it's a word. I don't know. But there's nobody saying we don't want you to work. All we're
No.
saying is don't put work before us. Like, don't make work your priority and your home an option. That's all we saying. You know what
No,
I'm
I
saying?
mean that see that that's not really what's happening.
It
Because
is.
what you have to understand is first, only thing I'm trying to get you to see is that the man is really saying what I am doing, I'm doing for you.
If he
And
not, he's doing it because he love his
I'm
job.
listen, I'm telling you, you're not listening. You're
I'm
not
listening.
listening. You know, I'm telling you beyond a shadow of a doubt. I'm talking. Say, I did not love my job like that. I was doing that because the position made me do some stuff I really didn't want to do. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? I didn't like working those hours. I people say, well, Eric, you was a workaholic. But then when you see me when I finally left, then you see, well, Eric wasn't a workaholic. Eric just had a job that was real demanding. You know what I'm saying? Because now you see, I chill. I chill. My day, I don't schedule an appointment before 11 o'clock. You know what I'm
See,
saying?
you
Because
one of a kind. You're one of a kind because honestly, some men like being away from the home. You
But
know what
that's
I'm
what I'm
saying?
saying.
And
Maybe so, but what I'm telling you, you have to key in the fact because when when we talk about sacrificing for each other or submitting to one
mm-hmm.
another, you don't understand what submitting for a man look like. You know what I'm saying?
I
See,
do,
submitting for
but
a man looks
kind of.
like
I never been a wife, so I try not to. over submit as a girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? Because if I'm not finna do all that as a girlfriend and you're not even treating me as a girlfriend, you got 100 other girlfriends. You know what I'm saying? So I'm
Yeah.
not gonna be submissive to a man that's not even committed to me. So
Oh,
I know what
some.
submissive is. You know what I'm saying? And I halfway submit until I realize that I'm not the only woman you're trying to commit to. So yeah,
Right.
no, I'm not gonna be fully submissive. I've never been a wife.
Right.
And men want these women to be so submissive to them as girlfriends when you're not even trying to wife me. But you
Right.
want wifely duties.
Listen, that's a totally different story. I can't.
It is, and we're
I
gonna
don't
talk
know
about
that
that
guy.
next week.
I don't know that
You
guy.
know,
But what I'm
I'm just
saying,
saying.
my point is that, you know, when a man is doing stuff like that, in his mind, he is also saying, "This is my sacrifice." Now,
Hmm.
and all I'm saying is I didn't talk to too many men who, now I'm not saying that they're right, but what I am saying that there's a lot of men who find themselves divorced like this, and what they're saying is, man, I did everything I supposed to have done. That's what their
Hmm.
thought is. I don't know why she left me. I did everything I was supposed to do. And why? Because he said, I provided for her, I protected for her. I did, but then it was those things that, where he was doing those actions, and those actions was things that that he was just consciously just set to say, oh, this is what I'm supposed to do. That's why I want you to start really looking at the reaction, because if you look at the reaction, you may see some malice in that. It may be some things which say, only reason I'm doing this is because he did that. And you
Hmm.
and this guy could have, he could have had everything. Well, let's say this: the only thing he could have been thinking about was the love of his family. And
Hmm.
because it did not feel good for you, because of your insecurities, you're saying, now here comes the reaction. And the reaction, because you got a choice, you can say, listen, I see my husband, because you can't tell me every woman is going to be upset over that. No, some woman,
No, I'm not
somebody
saying
out
every
there,
woman is.
some woman is going to say, you know what, my husband is a hardworking man and I appreciate
Hmm.
him. And whenever he comes home, I'm going to have him a
But you don't
plate.
think
Of
there's a sense of loneliness because there's a lot of
course it
women
is.
who works a lot too, a lot of long hours, and their man is at home,
I'm not
and
saying
the man
none of that's
also
wrong. I'm
has.
just saying that there's
I'm
another side to the story. That's
It
all.
is. I'm not saying because you're working long hours that you're out there cheating. I'm not saying every woman is insecure with that. I'm just saying it gets to a point where after so many years, after I am, oh, it's a conversation. We got to have a conversation. Um, I'm saying that
You getting in
if
trouble?
you're working long hours after so many years, okay,
Uh-huh.
after she put up with it after so many years, she understood it. You know what I'm saying? After so
Right.
many years, you work these hours, it didn't change. Nothing
Right.
changed. And she's been doing it, it's just been routine. She's
Right.
used to it. Because I got used to it. She's used to it.
Right.
But then after it says but the loneliness starts to build up. And so once that loneliness starts to build up, it's not selfish. It's just that now she's realizing at night she's going to bed alone. At night she's only eating with the kids. You know what I'm saying? You're coming home basically when she's already in bed. She's
Why
not
why
watching
why
TV,
why
her
wouldn't you
favorite TV
call
shows.
that? Why are you so hesitant on calling that selfish?
And I said no, I said it's not selfish.
No, that's
I'm
what I'm saying.
saying
Why
I
is
said
it?
it's,
Why is that
you
not
said
selfish?
because what you mean? Why? Because she's loneliness is building up in her.
But
You can't
loneliness is what? Lonely by myself. Selfish.
right. So why is that selfish on her? Because you chose to allow her to be by herself because of
No,
your work
I didn't
hours.
know.
You chose this
She
job.
could have not, yeah, but she could have done whatever to keep herself from being lonely.
She did. She attended to the kids. She kept herself
No,
busy. She
she
watched
could
her
have.
favorite shows, but at the same time, she's doing all this alone. Do you know how hard it is to take care of small kids alone? She's been doing it for 20 something years. No complaints, nothing. It was just routine. She was used to it. But after a while, loneliness starts to sink up. And she's realizing, like, wow, I'm
I'm
constantly
not
by
saying
myself.
I'm not saying that she was not supposed to be lonely. but you got to understand that there is some selfishness in that. I'm not
And I
saying
think it's some selfishness in the man too.
of course it
Because
is.
your
That's
excuse is, oh well, I got to take care of my household. I got to provide. Like there is no other job in this world that you could have did where you could have been home at a reasonable time. You chose that job. You took that position knowing the hours, knowing that those hours was going to take away from your household.
yeah, and I
So once
did
you
it.
start separating from that household,
So just
it starts to
imagine,
imagine
ima-
time separation kind of separate people. The
right.
less more or
Oh,
less time you spend with a person, the more distance you guys become. And so she probably did, you know what I'm saying? Then you say, oh, well, then she wants to divorce me because I wasn't home. No, it was just that y'all didn't get to know, y'all stopped getting to know each other because you allowed to yourself to know your job. You made your job more of a priority than getting to know your wife at the age of 50. You know what I'm saying? To get to know your wife at the age of 40, you decided to know your position at your job more. That job became more of a priority, and your wife and your marriage became more of an option. I mean, I'm not talking about you in you
No, I mean,
personally.
I
I'm
because
just
right.
I'm just
I get it.
because I know you. You know what I'm saying? I know you're a great guy. I mean, I'm not saying that sarcastically. I just know you're a great guy.
Well, I
So
appreciate that. Yeah,
anytime,
yeah, I get it.
anytime.
I get it. I mean, but that's why I'm talking about balance because you know um but another way I want you to look at it is this, and one act was done subconsciously and the other act was done consciously. Okay, one act was done consciously and the other act was done subconsciously. That is the difference. Okay, that's why I can say we need to focus on the reaction
Mm-hmm.
because subconsciously I was just working, or that man was
Right.
just working. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
that's the only thing that's what he was taught to do. Take care of your kids. So we automatic pilot. That's what we go on.
Mm-hmm.
Now, 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 that reaction that reaction is a conscious, thought out decision that someone said, I don't like the way I'm feeling, so I am going to retaliate or react this way. And that's where the problem comes in. Now listen, I'm not saying that the man or the one whoever was working those hours shouldn't have did better. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is you better start watching those reactions because those reactions are real close to retaliations.
Can I
That's
ask a
all I'm saying.
question?
Yes.
So when you got this new position that had made your hours all long and crazy, did you have
Hmm.
this conversation? Did the man have the conversation with this woman and say, "Hey, I got promoted. I'm over a lot of districts. My hours are going to be sometimes I'm not going to even be home for dinner. I'm trying to, I got to discuss this with you because you know what I'm saying, it's for better or for worse. I love you. I'm covenant, you know what I'm saying, this is a covenant of our marriage. You know, I don't want this to destroy our marriage if I'm not in the house.
Right.
So I'm letting you know now that I won't be in the house for, you know what I'm saying, you probably be in bed before I even get home.
Right.
How do you feel about that? Did that conversation happen? Now, if that conversation happened and she's like, well, you know, you got to do what you got to do for the house. If I ain't got to go to work and I can just stay home, take care of the kids, and you're making this much money and you're going to provide for the household, then it is what it is. And then after a while, she started complaining. You're like, wait a minute, we had this conversation. You know what I'm saying? You was good with it. Then that's
Right.
one thing. But if that conversation was never happened and you just took that position without even informing her until after you agreed to the position, and now you want her to understand that you are not going to be in the household even before she go to bed, then yeah, it's not selfish. It's more selfish of you because y'all became a partnership. You know what I'm saying? Y'all are together. Y'all are for life, supposedly. You know what I'm saying? Y'all are under God.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
why
Yeah.
wouldn't that conversation go ahead?
No, I agree. I agree. I mean that. See that those are things that when you know better, you do better.
You do that.
And you sit down
So
and
this
you
sound
have the.
right.
No, I mean, listen, I ain't really just. I ain't said you was wrong. I'm just saying that there's the other side to the story. Because listen, what you're talking about, just so everybody know, what you're talking about is what I talk about in my book. Okay, so I can't sit here and tell you you're wrong. I got to a place of understanding, you know, um, but I can also, because I do understand and I have done this self reflect. I also know that I was not doing it because, I put it this way, I was doing it in my mind because that was what I was supposed to do.
Right.
I was supposed to provide for my family. Okay, and furthermore, when and me personally, when she, hey, I want to go to nursing school. Don't go to nursing school. Okay, because
And
guess
that took a
what?
lot of time out of her day, right? Did you like that?
Was No, what I'm saying is we was able to do that because of what I was doing. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, of course, she waited till the kids got older, and I'm like,
Oh, okay.
listen, go ahead and get your degree and make your money. You know what I'm saying? Because I was able to do that. She was able, when she wanted to work, she worked. When she didn't want to work, she didn't have to. You know
That
what I'm
was the
saying?
joy of me in my past relationship, but at the same time, that was a plus. But then the lack of time spent from him at home was a minus. You know what I'm saying? So it was
Yeah,
like
that's why.
I'm
That's all I'm
comfortable
saying.
here, you know what I'm saying, but I'm not fully comfortable here. But I have to sacrifice time
Yeah,
with my man to get to be, you know what I'm saying, have this option of working or not.
and then
It's like, where's the balance?
it's got to be a balance. But then let me just say this too, and this is you have to recognize the phase that you're in your life. Okay, and
Mm-hmm.
and I think we talked about it before. I know this is part of the base of my book, my new book.
Oh, you got a new book. What
Yeah,
happened? So did I get the response?
that's why I hate.
You
That's why I
never
didn't even want to bring this up because I knew there was coming. Listen, don't do it. We'll talk. We'll talk. We'll talk. We'll talk. We'll talk. Don't do it. Don't do me. Don't do it. Don't do it. Give me grace. Give me grace. Give me grace. I beseech you. I beseech you. Listen, let me make my point. Well,
You got
listen,
a new book.
there are three phases of life that most people are going to go through. And most people, everybody go through it. And most people is more defined than others. I'll just put it that way. When you deal with relationships, okay,
Mm-hmm.
marriages, stuff like that, you're gonna have the first phase is gonna be the romantic phase. The second
Mm-hmm.
phase is gonna be the building phase, and then the third phase is gonna be the companionship phase.
Yeah.
Okay, what most divorces happen in the building phase. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
because in the building phase, the only thing that you should be thinking about is accumulating wealth. Okay,
Right.
now, when I say the only thing, I don't mean that you neglect. No, you don't neglect your kids. You don't neglect your wife. But what I'm saying is that you're not going to be in the building phase of your life forever. And if you don't do your building phase right, you will never be able to live in a place of comfort in your companionship phase. Okay, but because the building phase becomes more selfish, that's why everybody gets divorced, because you're not going to get divorced in your companionship, I mean in your love phase. You know what I'm saying? You're not getting divorced there. You know what I'm saying? But that's a short part of the relationship. As you know, after the courting and all that, the engagement, you get married, and all of a sudden you got this man, and it don't just happen to men, because it also happened to women.
Mm-hmm.
But if you got this man to say, man, I got this family now, I got a wife, I got kids, I have to go into this building phase in my life. I have to start accumulating some things. And this guy, man, he's 20 years old, and he's gonna be there until he's about 60, 65, maybe even 70 years old. He's gonna be in the building phase because he's trying to accumulate some things. And the whole time that he's doing that, Sophia, so the only thing, the whole time that he's doing that, He's saying that I am trying. With all that I'm doing for her. But but listen, we cannot escape that phase.
Mm-hmm.
We got to
But how
understand.
long?
But God
How many
make
years
us.
is this? How many years is this building phase? Can I ask that question?
But see that okay, that great question. It is different for if for it's different for everybody because you got somebody who you got somebody that could be 70 years old and he's still building. See, in other
Mm-hmm.
words, what make you stop building is when you have accumulated it. Now it
Mm-hmm.
will come. It can come a point in a man's life when he just realized that it's not going to happen. But a man, what I want you to understand, a man always gonna have to. He it's in his DNA to want to build something, to accomplish something, to win something. And see, this is what's gonna happen. He can be he can be so old to where his biggest accomplishment could be walking to the mailbox, but he will get up every day and go to the mailbox just to say he did it because there's something in the man that's going to make him want to he has to build something. He has to accomplish something. You know,
Talking about real men? No, I was kidding. I thought that makes you mad.
I told you like this earlier. No such thing. It's just a man. And
I
he's
know.
just a man.
I just wanted to
Okay.
say that on purpose.
I
Okay,
mean,
so I have another question. I have another question. So during this building stage, is there a conversation with that man and that woman to letting her know what is it going to the time that it's going to take and the time away from home probably because some men probably build at the house, but the man has to be away from home. Is he communicating with this woman about his hours because of building?
but one of the things I want to do in this new book is identify. I want to break down these three phases. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so not only one, we know in the power two in that book that you have to have that we at minimum a weekly conversation, weekly check in
Mm-hmm.
with your spouse. Okay, so we should
Exactly.
have that
That don't
established.
always happen.
But it don't. But we're getting better. But that's why I
Yeah.
had to put it in the book. Okay, so we're gonna have that check in. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so in this next book, I just want to identify where we at because see, if I'm in the building phase, and I can and if I break down what this building phase look like, if I do it justice, then not only do you recognize it, and see, I'm gonna tell you now where we at. Women are in building phases.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's not a male
The
thing.
building phase.
Yes, because you want
But
something.
guess what I do? I still make time.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I mean, but
You make time
now
for who and what you want to make time.
no. Okay, so let's
Get
break
in
you down because if I'm not mistaken, let me
the
see. You told me if somebody wants to date you, they have to date you during the day. Is
Not
what the
all days. Not like evening. So that was when I was taping, when I was filming. So
okay,
filming, we're at is we're paused for filming right now.
okay, that
So
was
now
okay.
that I'm
Gotcha.
not filming, my evenings are actually available.
Okay.
See, it's not
Right.
just Tuesdays anymore.
Right. But
So I
at
have
that
time to spend time with somebody in the evenings or whatever. So
but
see,
my point
even
is this: when
what
when
I
when
do,
you was filming,
but
you told any man that was dating you that
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday I film.
right. But what if he was working Fridays? I mean, what if he was working the opposite of that? You know what I'm saying? Or I mean, or
Then you can't date me.
that's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So,
I'm just
but that
saying,
doesn't
if
make
you
you a
know
bad
that you don't
person.
have time for somebody, then you can't be with that person.
But that doesn't make you a bad person. You see what I'm saying?
It
It,
doesn't. But I would not be with somebody that I cannot make time for.
right.
If I'm building, and why, you know what I'm saying? I know people like in different phases of their life, they've been doing something and they decide, oh, I want to do this and I want to build on this. But why do the building stage have to come in marriage? Well, during the marriage, why won't the building stage come during the relationship, and then you already done built in the marriage, or you're close to finish building in the marriage.
Right. So here's the thing. Um, I mean, building looks different, okay? Because
Mm-hmm.
because you got. I mean, you got to think that there's gonna be always gonna be a, a era where a man is gonna want to build. I mean, accomplish something.
Exactly.
Okay.
A woman
Now,
too.
so another word that I interchange building is money. The money accumulation phase.
Right.
Okay. So there is a point where, if I accumulated wealth early enough, then you're going to see a person that can go into companionship because
Mm-hmm.
he have accomplished that. But reality says, I mean, you can look at most people who have accumulated wealth. What are they doing? Trying to accumulate more wealth,
More wealth.
because it
Right.
because it's not really about the wealth anymore. It's about how much
It's
more
a,
can I get. You see what I'm
right. And
saying?
it becomes like an obsession or something of
Obsession.
building. He's
but
building, yeah.
but but also remember, I specified this as it relates to romantic, relationships. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So even in that man, that's accumulating that wealth, and that all of that type of stuff, he can have an inner conversation with his spouse and say, hey, when I do this, then we can chill. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But the point is, we can't pinpoint when that phase ends.
Right.
We can pinpoint when it starts. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? But we can't really pinpoint when it's gonna end, because the end looks different for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Or um, you can say, well, somebody may say, well, when I get $1 million, I can stop. But
But what if
mhm.
I raise my hand? What if during this building stage and you miss so much time with your spouse that while you're building, your spouse end up passing away?
Yeah, yeah,
And
that
now
happens.
you done spent so much time. Yeah, it happens. You done spent so
Yeah,
much time building yourself and this wealth or whatever, and you saying, I'm gonna stop when I get to $1 million. But you know that the first 2 years of building a business, you probably either gonna be broke or break even. And so in 2 years, you're not gonna make $1 million. 3 years, you're not probably not gonna make $1 million, depending. So by that
right.
fourth year, you probably got to $250,000, but now your spouse passes away,
But I
and you
mean,
missed
yeah, and
4 years of
realistically,
being with your spouse.
right. But I deal with life insurance, so that's an easy question. Your wife was gonna pass away whether you was a millionaire or not. You know what I'm saying?
No,
You know,
that's so easy. Maybe she passed away due to loneliness.
she died lonely. Well, hey, that's
No, it's
possible.
content, baby. It's content. All right, so let's go with Lorenzo's question.
Okay.
All right, so it says, Sophia, do you know what it feels like to not be able to say yes to your woman when she sees something that she wants? Do you know
Come
what it
on.
feels like when your woman to speak of, look at, or admire her girlfriend's man has gifts that he has gotten
My,
for her?
my, my.
No, I don't. Do you know what it feels like to be worried about your woman to drive a car that is not reliable, etc.? Do you know? No,
Mm.
because I never had a woman before. So
Oh, so you gonna play
so
him like that? Man, I get it, man. I know exactly what you're
but
saying.
I know where you're going. But I honestly, I guess I'm a different woman. I don't look at what my girlfriend's guy is getting for her, because most of my girlfriends are married anyway, honestly. And so like they're married. I'm single,
You understand his
so
concept, though. The
I get
concept
it.
of
I
what
get
he's
what his
talking about.
concept, but that don't mean there's men that work 9 to 5s that can provide this for their women. You know what I'm saying? So like, you don't have to work 100 hours a week to provide this.
Yeah. We lost you. Uh-oh. Sophia, I don't know if you can hear me, but we lost you on our side. Yo, let's give her a chance to come back. Matter of fact, let's I can't see any names on here. I do apologize. I don't have it on my side. But Facebook's user, okay, yeah, she did lose. She'll probably be coming back. But let me read this comment and then we're gonna get on out of here. We've been on here way past our time anyway. The way you're speaking is one reason a man would start looking for someone that gives him some praise and respect for being a hardworking man. Man, I can shout right there. How does what you're saying compete with a woman that would brag about and appreciate a man that's willing to compete in the workforce at all costs? The man that is trying. It is easy to find you a man that ain't doing that at all. So easy must be what you want. Yeah. Um Oh Lord, don't do it like that, man. God, God, shut your mic. Yeah. Well, you know what? I listen. We're gonna go ahead and get out, man. I appreciate everybody for staying in, and I do hate that my co-host has some technical problems. But it happened with a live show. But maybe it was God shutting her up. I hate to say that. I really wish she would understand because just so I can be clear. I totally understand what she's saying, and I think that this is why we started this podcast so we can have this conversation, and at some point, I know, I stay out here and she stay out here, and then at some point we meet in the middle, and hey, you back, so, and that's what we hope to do, this is what healthy conversation look like, so um and hopefully at some point
You
you
see,
can
I
look
sound
at your
like
own
Judah.
relationship and be like, okay, yeah, I can see how this can help. Yeah, we
Let's
came
read
to the
Lorenzo's
understanding that
comments.
God
Okay.
shut your mic down.
No, God didn't shut my mic down. My internet went out.
I mean,
So
i'm just
anyway,
i'm just saying
I
what the I'm just saying what the
don't
fake
sound like
Facebook
Judah. You gotta see, that's the thing with, like I said, with men. They only want to be understood. They don't want to understand a woman. You see,
right.
everything that I literally just expressed, everything that I literally just explained, I'm speaking doodle. But what he just explained, I literally said, I see where he's coming from. You see what I'm
I
saying? It's
did I
like,
ever disagree with you?
listen to understand what the woman is saying and not try to only see the man's way. Because what I'm saying is factual. This is how it looks in a woman's eyes. You all aren't women. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
but
So don't,
okay,
I'm not speaking doodle. I'm speaking from a woman's perspective.
now let's
If I
do. But are we clear on it could be facts, but that it doesn't make it truth?
That is, well, facts is truth, right?
No.
If it's
Yeah.
a fact, it's mostly a truth. It can be opinion, but not truth.
Well,
But
no, facts
from
facts can be proven. That
it's my statements are non-fictional. Okay,
no. But
thank
what
you. So
just understand that there's a difference between facts and truth. Okay. And
anyway, I speak facts equals truth. But
okay,
what
from
I'm
your
saying is
perspective,
from from
from
what it is, from the factual book of Bible of women. Okay,
okay,
the
okay,
nonfiction version.
the nonfiction,
Okay, all I'm saying is we women and people general, everybody wants somebody that they can spend time with. It don't matter
right,
if the woman was out there doing 100 hours a week. The
right,
man, even if it was a conversation between the man and the woman, that hey, I'm building this business, I'm
right,
going to be out here, I gotta, me being in the entertainment industry now, I got to
Mm-hmm.
network. So I got to go to almost every event that's happening every night. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? I gotta host this. I gotta go there. I gotta do this. I gotta be here. I gotta be there. Okay. So it's like I said this to you, and this was when in the beginning of the building stage. Okay.
Right.
So here it is, knowing how it is in the entertainment industry. It takes a long time for you to even get that following up like that. So here
Absolutely.
it is 6 years later, I'm still doing the same things. And
Right.
I'm not home. I'm coming home 1, 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. You're already
Right.
asleep.
Right.
Eventually, after 5 years, this man, first of all, this man probably won't even let me be out there like that. He's gonna want to go with me.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Well, if you going to the club or the concerts, I want to go too. Well, now we
Right.
got found a babysitter because now you want to tag along with me. But if it was a man doing this and the woman say, "Well, I want to tag along with you," the man probably like, "No, because I'm networking." But the man ain't gonna understand that the woman in this industry has to do this. He's gonna want to tag along with her. He's gonna not gonna like the fact that the woman is coming home at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, knowing that she's in her building stage. Okay, he has a steady career. She's building her career. And her
Mm-hmm.
career is in the entertainment industry where she's going to be coming in late nights. That's not going to be understood by the man. And eventually, even if he understood it for the first 3 years, by the fifth years, he's like, "Hey, I've been sleeping by myself. I've been getting quickies. You know what I'm saying? I don't want quickies. I've been getting, lazy sex. I don't want that. You know what I'm saying? I've been watching, you know what I'm saying? I'm watching, your shows are recorded or whatever. I've been recording shows, waiting for you to come home so we can watch them. I don't like this." He's going to eventually get lonely too. I'm not just saying it's just the woman. It's just human nature that a man gets lonely just like a woman gets lonely when you live with somebody or you're dating somebody and you're used to spending time with that person, but now that person decides they need to they need to build on themselves and build on their careers. So it's going to take away from that time that you got used to. And you're
Mm-hmm.
trying to be as understanding as possible, but as years pass, it starts to be like, damn, how much longer? How much longer do I got to sacrifice not spending time with my woman or with my man?
Right.
Eventually, it
All of that's
becomes a
valid.
problem.
All of it's valid.
So I'm not saying like, what y'all saying is wrong. Of course, you got to build, but as a human on the other side of the person's building, it gets like that. And I don't think it's selfish. It's not honestly selfish on either end because everybody have a reason for why they are doing what they're doing.
Okay, stop
And the
right
person
there.
at
Stop
home,
right there.
but
Oh man, you did it. Oh, you did it. You done messed up. You done
how I
messed
messed
up.
up.
Okay, so you said that it is not selfish on either end. True or false?
I did, but I said that just so because he said I was speaking doodle. It's selfish on your end. But go ahead.
All right. No, no, you want to take it back? I'll let you take it back. I'll let you take because what I was gonna say is if it's not selfish
No, it's not.
on either
It's not
end.
selfish. It's just I don't think people think about what they're doing, the effects of it. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, really, on
Uh,
the person who's building end, how is he
okay.
affecting the relationship? Let me put it
Okay.
that way. Okay, now you go
Okay.
ahead.
Well, I mean, what you took it back, so it don't matter. But yeah, I'll let you take it back. Yeah, I'll let you take. But see, but you gotta admit though, I mean, this is part of the problem. Especially when you say, hey, that this is all selfish on the other end, and you saying, well, I don't see none of my behavior is being wrong. We kind of talked about that
I
earlier.
didn't say none of the behavior is being wrong. Now, if I'm coming at you aggressively, like I said, if we had a conversation about the hours that you was going to be doing, and I'm like, okay, go ahead, you know what I'm saying, do what you got to do to build the family, help the family, and boom. But if you just all of a sudden come home because you
Hmm.
accepted the position without saying, hold on, let me go home, let me speak to my wife real quick, let me let her know what's going on, blah, blah, blah. I got to get back to you. If they threw this position on you and you accepted it as soon as they threw it on you, then you coming home telling me, hey, I'm not gonna
Come
be
on,
home
man. So
for
what? So
six
what?
hours, 18 hours, 20 hours. You know what I'm saying?
So
It's gonna bump me up in price, but I'm not gonna be home most of the time. Then
w-
it's like now I'm like, damn, like I ain't got no choices. Even my opinion don't matter at this point because you already accepted a position. We're a partnership. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like if
but we
I was to do
also
that,
we also we also bought the car, and we got in the
yeah,
car.
a 9 to
So
5
and
can get
we
you. A 9 to 5 can pay that car note.
no, but you don't. You I mean you keep saying that, but you really don't know. You know what I'm saying? Because
You
it's not
Let
about the
me tell you,
car. It's also about the kids. It's also about the house. It's also about the fact that you want to go to school and get your degree, and so you can't work. There's a
what
lot
if
of
I already got
factors.
my degree? What if I already got my degree? What if I'm
But
already working
then you should
and the
be
kids are in
busy.
daycare?
Then you should be busy working and building.
What
So
if I
we
work regular hours, 7 to 3:30? The kids are in daycare. I get off at 3:30, pick the kids up at daycare, and you still not home until 11 o'clock at night.
then I'm saying I love your schedule. I wish I had your schedule
So why wouldn't you get my schedule?
because my job don't allow it.
Why would you take that position knowing that we're okay? If I'm a
I didn't
nurse, I'm
know. I
making
didn't
pretty good
know. I
money,
no, I
but you
didn't
didn't
know it.
talk to me about it. So
When
why
when
didn't
I
you
took
talk to me
when I
about it?
took the position, you were in school. We needed the money.
You took the position, I was in school, but you know I was in school for a career that was going to help with the money.
Okay,
So
so
why not
now
keep the
now
position
I
you was
you know
in?
what? I'm gonna be honest with you. We can flip it. We'll be like Usher and I'll stay at home and you can go and you can be gone all you want. Trust me, I would not complain, not damn bit.
Yes, you would.
No,
You would
I
after a
promise you I
while.
won't. I
You would
promise you I
after a
won't.
while. After a while,
Mm-mm.
if I'm
No,
working,
because
if I'm
me,
a nurse
first
and
of
I'm
all,
working
me and
16-hour
my kids will
shifts,
be having a great time, and I'll be like, listen, man, I trust
it's
me.
human
It,
nature. If
no,
I'm
it's
a nurse
not.
and I'm working
It's a
16,
human
if I
nature
go
for
in
a
at 7
woman
a.m. and I
because
get off to 11 p.m., okay,
I
because I'm
will
busting
be
16 hours to take
fine.
care of the household. After a while, you would not be fine because by the time I come home, I want to shower and lay down. I don't even have time to have sex with you. You would
Yeah,
not be fine.
trust me, I will be fine.
So no sex and you'll be fine. And you
I'll be
laying right
fine.
next to the bed.
Yeah, I will be fine.
Whatever. Anyway, Lorenzo, shut up. All right. Lorenzo said we listen to what women are saying, but we try to do all things to maintain happy and safe home to come to. That's not all men, Lorenzo. You're one of a kind, baby. You're one of a kind. I want you to come along. A good man wants to show off you. Not all men, because a lot of men in this industry got to look single. You know what I'm saying? To get the women to follow them and stuff. So in this
On
entertainment industry,
now, let me ask you this: isn't it true that most entertainers like dating entertainers?
no, that was just, that's funny because I was just watching a podcast about that. Some
Okay,
do, but some don't.
so
Some like to.
okay,
When I was the so here's the thing. When I was in the beauty and when I became in the beauty world, always said I wanted to date a barber.
I'll go back to
I wanted to date a
that.
barber. Hold on. I wanted to date a barber, right? Because I figured I knew a barber would understand my goals of
Right, right, right,
starting to build my own spa and everything. And
right,
somebody else who wasn't in the industry wouldn't understand it. So I
right.
wanted to date a barber because of that. So people in like with me in my schedule, I would probably wouldn't want to. I mean, if I dated somebody in the industry, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? That's nice. But it's this industry is so hard and so cutthroat, and there's so many people that's like, you know what I'm saying, just coming at the men in this industry, and it's a lot of temptation for the men in this industry, and it's a lot of temptation for men in a lot of for men, period. One, because it's way
Absolutely.
more women than it is men. So, but I don't have a preference of dating a man in this industry or a man not in this industry. But people date in the same industry because they feel like the person understands them a little more and understands their schedule and understand why they're doing what they're doing a little bit more because they're doing the same thing.
Right. That's the only
But
thing I was saying.
yeah,
And if and only thing I want you to key in with what you just said is understanding. It works because
mm-hmm,
they understand, and the reason why they
right,
understand is because they're doing it. And the reason why
right.
women get upset is because they see a man that's doing something and they are doing nothing. Then all of a
So being
sudden,
out here is doing nothing. You know how
now
hard that job is.
now I understand it. Now don't get me wrong. I'm just
That month,
saying that it's something that's in that woman that's saying that. I'm saying I told my daughter this. This was a couple of years ago before she had her son. We throw on this big hair show in Birmingham. We do it every year. Okay, at
Mm-hmm.
the end of the
I was
year,
never invited, so but it's okay.
well, you invited to the next one. We got one in Atlanta
Oh,
coming
thank
up
you.
next month too. You can come to.
Sicky, I like Atlanta.
But we got so at the end of this meeting, at the end of the meeting, we get all the kids together and we're saying, okay, tell us your vision. This is like really where you tell me your vision, and then before that night, so we got your plan of action. We got your money coming in. We got whatever you need to do. Tell me your vision, and then the older people in the family, we make it happen. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
it got down to my daughter, and she started crying, and I said, why are you crying? She said, well, dad, he said, only thing I want to do is be a mother and a wife. And then I took her and I said, listen. And she cried because she said all her cousins would, I want to do this and I want to do that, and with all this entrepreneur stuff, she didn't have none in her mind. But I say, listen, I say you chose the better of all of that, because if that's what God called you to do, there's nothing else better than that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't
I hope you
think
get the
that.
right man to do it.
Well, she got the right man. She got a good
Good.
man. She got a good man. Got me my grandson. So they off to a good start. You know what I'm saying? But
Good.
you know, um, but yeah, so it's not all just cut and dry. All men ain't bad, Sophia.
Women
So
are
so
not
so
bad, and I would never say
I
that.
keep seeing your
I
name
never
up
said
there and
that.
it's messing me up. Uh
It's so up there. What do you see my name at anywhere else?
you
All you see
you
is so.
you gotta go.
So live with Eric and so. It says
No,
so
in the
on my
comments.
title.
It's
Where you see in
comments.
my comment? Where they say so in the comments?
Keep going.
Lorenzo is saying, well, Lorenzo, why are you using my government?
It messed me up, man. It's 'cause
Like,
I
why are
looked
you
at
using my government? Don't be using my government. How do you
because
even know my government? Oh, because it's
because
on the
because
title of
he
the other
said it because he wanted to make some impact on what's going
Whatever. It
on.
ain't making impacts. It's making impact magnets. Anyway, what you say? Let Eric go to bed. Y'all been on 5 hours to get. We've been on here for a long time, for 2.5 hours actually. That's very long. It's
Right.
longer than we ever been on here.
I
And
know.
he don't want to go to bed. Apparently, he got a lot to say. And we love you so for coming to the table and being willing to
Who
have
is
the
that?
conversation. Lorenzo again.
Okay.
Know that I have every conversation. I ain't afraid of no conversation. I've been doing podcasts for a long time and I would talk about anything. Okay.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
He's get her, Eric. Get her, Eric. Throw the right hand at her. What did he get me at? Lorenzo, you know what? You're fired. Stay out of the ear. I'm casting for a new James. Anyway.
Really?
Don't be calling me tomorrow saying so. I was just nope, done. Anyway, so I want to share this with you. So y'all know that Joey and Jordy Hip Hop Love Story is coming up, and we are implementing that. I am implementing that in my Monday night. I know we're gonna go into closings for the. Oh, do we even need a closing? It's been like 2.5 hours. But anyway,
Because Renzo is so
I've
right.
been
I'm so ready to go to bed.
incorporating that in my Monday nights. So I do it's a vibe Monday every Monday at Rock Island Bistro, 100 Nugent Square in Glenwood, Illinois. And we have all music genres now. It's not just R&B, hip hop. It's every genre of music. If you're country, if you're alternative, if you rock, as long as it's no violent music, no gang, promote music, drug promote music, we are for it. I mean, that's fine. It's legal because I do have a sponsor where if you do come, the first 25 people, you do receive a free pre-roll or edible from my sponsor. Also, if you will, also if you're an artist, you want to come out, you qualify to have your music, to have a one of your songs or a new song. We prefer new music that haven't been out yet on the soundtrack of our movie or in the movie on the transition scene. So that's incorporated. So I made this little video because my artist, my music director, and the lead of the movie, Kareem Burrell, aka Joey, aka Dirty, and you can follow him on Instagram, which is Dirty Music with a Z. He wrote this song along with Pretty Boy XR. He's also a supporting lead who plays Dave. You can follow him on social media as Jonathan JonAthanXR Lewis, and I believe he's Pretty Boy SR on Instagram. I'm not sure. But they also did the song that I played when before we got on and we did Don Relent's song, I Came to Win. The Option songs was written by XR and also performed by Dirty Low and XR. So those are like two really dope artists. They are my lead and supporting lead in the movie. And so I put this little video together, kind of like advertise the movie, let y'all know that, hey, I know y'all haven't really been seeing much, but it's still going on. It'll be out late fall. And so look, so I just want y'all to watch this, okay?
That's good. That's good.
I put that on my life, I'ma ride till I die. Everything's okay, long as she's by my side. It won't be no Joey without Jordy. Real true hip hop love story. Need her in my life, need her by my side. Promise I won't fold, for her I'm gon' ride. Cause it won't be no Joey without Jordy. Real true hip hop love story.
We a true hip hop love story.
That's good. That's
So
that's
that's
real
this,
good.
yeah.
I like that.
Oh, yeah, you hear me? Yeah, so that's the part of the theme song that he wrote, and so I'm I'm really proud of it, and it makes me excited because I'm like, okay, when hearing the song, it's like, yeah, the movie is really, what I'm saying, it's coming,
Right.
it's really a movie now. So even though it's always been a movie, but it's like now that it has happened, a song that says it, it like really brings it to life. So that's on my story on social media. You can follow me on Facebook if y'all not already on my Facebook page. I know I'm airing this. We air this on everything. I am SoSo Latrice Latrice on Facebook, and I am the underscore the real SoSo REAL SoSo underscore on Instagram and on TikTok. And where can they follow you at, Eric?
Oh man, they can follow me on Facebook. I'm old school, man. So I'm gonna do Facebook at simple Eric Kirk. Eric Kirk on Facebook.
With the
On
K.
yeah, ERICKIRK. On Instagram, I am Eric Kirk, the relationship guy. And
I follow you on Instagram. You know I follow you on Instagram?
you
It's
don't
weird,
you
huh?
just be
I
stalking me.
think so.
That's okay.
I don't think you even follow me on Instagram while you're talking. But anyway, speaking of following, make sure y'all follow us on YouTube. We have a YouTube page.
Absolutely.
We go
Yes.
live when we're live streaming on Facebook. We're live streaming on YouTube. We're live streaming on link my LinkedIn account, and we're live streaming
Oh,
on my
okay.
Twitter account. So we're live streaming everywhere. I don't know how to make followers on Twitter because I don't even be on Twitter. I think we got
Right.
like 12 followers on Twitter. I'm not even gonna lie.
I
I
think you
just keep
beat
on
me.
there anyway. My LinkedIn is pretty full. I do live stream on there also though. But yeah, but follow our YouTube page, which is Live with Eric and SoSo on YouTube. I will as soon as I get this footage out to my Voiceverse. I'm gonna work on our TikTok page, so you can see some
Cool.
short clips on TikTok from for us, and then you can all follow our TikTok page so we can have a little more social media. And where I'm gonna start, I'm actually just gonna use one of my old Instagram pages that I don't use no more, and just make this our so that way we already have followers on there. That's
Right.
how we
That's
do it.
good.
And
That's
then like
good.
and subscribe, like and share our Facebook page, like and share this podcast is super long, but we had a lot to talk about. We kind of drifted off the
Yeah.
whole would you date your ex
But
into a whole nother
it
subject
was
that I don't even know
good.
what
It
it
was
was
really
about.
good.
But yeah,
I
Lorenzo, I
enjoyed you.
love you. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I did. I got beat up a little bit because I didn't have my girls by my side today, which was weird.
I
Um,
like this. We
but
got to do this again.
but Lorenzo, don't come on no more while we're live. Just keep watching while we're after we go record it. Okay. I love you so much. I thank you for participating and in the comments with your little harsh ass comments, but it's cool. You was on Eric's side. Usually he gets beat up, so I'll get beat up this week.
I
But
needed that.
Eric, I appreciate you dearly, of course.
Well, thank
I
you.
look forward to seeing you every week. And guys, we thank you guys so much for watching, for participating. Keep watching every Thursday. Give us some stars, y'all. Y'all will be giving us no stars. We deserve some stars. We come out, we stay late for y'all. We even make our time later for y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna point fingers and like we do this for y'all. You know what I'm saying? We
That's
help y'all
right. That's right.
make y'all think. So give us some stars, show us some appreciation, and whatever. But yeah, we got anything to say, Eric?
Nope, I don't. I don't. But I enjoyed this broadcast. I enjoyed you. I appreciate you. So by
Oh,
default, I do have something to say, but that was
thank
it.
you. All right, we're gonna
I'm
go with
done.
the closing. All right, good night, guys. Love you guys. See you
Good
next
night.
week.
Yeah, down. Say I can't win, I can't win. Hey, hey. Say I can't win. Say I can't win, I can't win. I came to win, yeah. Only do it for the wins. I hope the Lord forgive me for my sins. I wanna kick this knowledge to my friends. I tell her come and then she ask me when. I thought I finished it until the end. I'm on my bankroll, never been. I follow legends, you just follow trends. Bitch, I'm only in this game for the wins. Yeah, wins, wins. I'm only in this game for the wins. I hope the Lord forgive me for my sins. I wanna kick this knowledge to my friends. I tell her come and then she ask me when. I thought I finished it until the end. I follow legends, you just follow trends. Bitch, I'm only in this game for the wins. We don't take L's, bitch, we taking lessons. I done turn hard work into blessings. I done turn blood money to investments. I done smoke an ounce of rust to keep them stressing. I've been getting money since my adolescence. I love that black nap, but the judge be my weapon. Come from a city where niggas be stepping. Lace up my Nikes, you know that I'm stepping. I ain't just rapping. Take off my hat because I am not captain. She drive the boat and bitch, I am the captain. Go to the boat, I'ma stack off the craps. And the roulette, there's one in the chamber, play Russian roulette. I'm here for the win, double down on my bet. Importer from Cali, I smoke on the best. I'm finding no stylist, I dress to impress. Notorious flowing